So, last session was a little bit of an interesting one. You made a delivery that went well. You only killed 2 cops in the process.
2 snipers.
Snipers. I mean, they were cops, but one of them got mauled to death by a panther. It's fine.
Not a big deal.
No biggie. And yeah, you guys were able to successfully deliver your package, and you got paid, which is even better. Always good getting some money.
Yeah.
And I think one of the characters, I believe it was Dan, finally asked what was in the box, and you learned that it was more or less processed humanoid. You didn't get told what kind of human, but it was basically a person got broken down into various pieces, skin, eyes, meat, blood, all that kind of things like that. And that's what you were delivering.
Yeah.
So you guys decided, hey, let's decide to make a business out of that and sell to vampires. Because that's where this box was going.
It's a side hustle.
Rosie very much disapproves.
I don't think she knows about it yet, thankfully.
I know.
Wasn't she there for that conversation?
She knows about it.
Yeah, I think
we all talked about it. I remember
you're
her
all part of
disapproving
it
at the time.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I specifically said that I was on Rosie's side on this one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. Really.
Let's go ask your dad about it.
Yeah, I bet he'd be very against it.
Yeah. I don't think
I'm sure. So, on that note, you guys did discover a few things about the vampires. There are a group of vampires that have been steadily growing in power. They used to be requesting deliveries every month, and now that they are making requests every 2 weeks for these shipments. Yes, bi-weekly. So, you learned the name of the group from this dwarf at the Spice Works, where you originally got the parts. The name of the group is the Eternal Moon Lords. And as far as where they originated from or where they are currently, you do not know any of that. You do know that worshippers of the god Idris, the god of the afterlife, he has their worshippers basically go out and exterminate ghouls, vampires, various undead. They're kind of like bounty hunters for the paranormal. They are currently also working to get rid of the vampires and look after them. You know that as well. But aside from that, you guys got paid pretty well. I think it was 12,000, and Dan was able to. What's that?
$2,000 each.
Yes, $2,000 each, thanks to Dan's asking how much this pays.
Perfectly reasonable question.
Of course. Perfectly reasonable. So, from that point, you guys then decided, well, let's go figure out who's been stealing Dan's identity here. And you guys went in search of the Twilight Bell Tower. You learned previously from the session prior, I believe, that in order to get into the Twilight Bell Tower, you have to go through a little candy shop and buy 3 specific items, and only those. And the candy shopman would let you in to the Twilight Bell Tower. You only got two of the 3 items out of him. He was wanting to get drunk to try and remember the 3rd, but you guys gave up on that front. He went in anyways and started getting 2 of them, and more or less asked / persuaded the old man, and you got the 3rd one. You got Midnight Licorice, Crack-Tooth Jawbreakers, and Peach Punch Rings, and he took you to a very cramped little elevator, and you descended into what is essentially one of the large pillars that hold up the outer crust from the underground sea that is encapsulated by the world above that you have all inhabited. This has been bored out of this pillar. It looks like it's taken a lot of work, and it's a very large open area. And down at the bottom, there is a fighting ring. And underneath the fighting ring is a very large bell that has been inverted, so it's upside down. And that is directly under the fighting. As you guys descended, you got asked a few questions by a devil whether you were here to watch, to bet, or to participate. You guys decided to just watch right now. It was 10 gold entry per person. And that is where you guys first started looking out to see if you could find who was stealing Dan's head, basically.
Well, we
You were
thought it
able-
was just the face, but yeah, it turns out he had the whole thing.
He did have the whole thing. So yeah, you guys did find out that the person that this was referencing is a person named Chani, and you were able to get into the kind of fighters lobby basically before they go in for a fight. And sure enough, you found a man with Dan's face, Dan's whole head. And you asked a few questions. He very high-pitched replied, didn't really seem to want to give any info, and one of you were saying, hey, we just want to talk because you happen to have the head of one of our friends. He apparently did not want to discuss that, went invisible, and was able to surprisingly wriggle out of Rez'Veela twice through a spider web from Dan and wriggled down underneath into the bell itself, all invisibly. He seemed to almost slink in, but he did leave the head behind. It had this kind of slimy ooze attached to it that Rez tasted, and it tasted very acidic and bitter. But Dan was able to get his head back. It's more or less in good shape. It's got a little bit of rot around the ears and the cartilage areas, but otherwise it's fairly acceptable at a glance. And this is where we are at now. I do know that while Dan and AAA and Rez were dealing with this, the rest of the group went up to check out the fighting ring, see what it was, and Rosie was able to get the rules, which, in case you guys are not aware, it is in the quests tab of Fortuna Discord on how the fighting ring works. There's basically a team. One person on that team is above on the fighting ring, and the other person on their team is in the upside down bell. And the same is true for their opponents. And they fight, and if you lose, the clapper of the bell will fall into your teammate, and then you swap, basically making the battles quicker and bloodier. The reasoning why, you do not know, but those are the rules, and the first one to 5 points by the rules wins. So, I think that's where we left off. You guys have not entered the VIP room as well to get up into where the VIPs are. You do know that there are several balconies with some higher, more distinguished-looking people up there, as opposed to the rabble that are currently in the main stages. So, does anyone have any questions before we start? Because I know that was a lot of info.
Are we going to be using Tailspire again this week?
Yes, we will. Is yours having trouble or something?
No, I was just wondering if we needed the visual reference still.
Oh. I mean, if you guys get into the VIP room, I do have that planned, so that way you guys know what you're dealing with there. I mean, technically, unless we get into combat, we shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other questions?
Sneaking suspicion. It seems like we shouldn't go in the VIP room based off of that.
I mean,
Or I mean, if you go into the fighting ring.
I wanted to get past that dickhead who was trying to stop us from going down into the bell room.
Didn't that guy totally evade by escaping down into the bell room?
Yeah, he wriggled out of Rez's grapple. He wriggled through web, and then he melted into the floor and left the head behind.
That is correct.
So, as far as we know, the last place he would have been would be down in the bell room.
And there's only one way out of this place that we know of, right? The elevator?
This place, like the whole compound?
Yeah, this compound. We came down in the elevator, and like David
Correct.
said, it was hollowed out through a pillar of stone. So it's like, how many other exits would there be?
Considering it's supposed to be hidden, I doubt there's any others, but that also...
You would also know that this ooze man is also invisible. What?
Yeah. And you said there was one exit out of the bell room, too.
Correct.
So... Dan's priority is getting down there with one of the fairy fire people at minimum.
Well, you
At
got
least
the
one.
2 fairy fire people
Yes.
drinking a malt and eating peach rings.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
get one
this vault has lasted so long. It's like been a whole week. Still good.
Yeah. Oh, Rosie would have offered you peach rings, by the way, if you wanted some.
Can you?
Yes.
Can Dan taste?
No.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
is
too
Dan
bad.
in front of us right now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are currently on the bleachers, while Dan and Rez and AAA are behind.
But didn't we also attract the entire attention of the fighting arena?
You got the attention of the guards, basically.
We got the attention of the guy who was guarding the VIP room. Or not the locker room, I think it was.
Correct.
Because we were trying to get back there to go down to the bell. He's being a dick.
I mean, you guys are kind of disrupting the establishment.
So where exactly are we all at this very moment then?
So, Bruno, Gary, and Rosie are currently on the bleachers, and Dan, Rez'Veela, and AAA are right beneath bleachers, basically behind the row of bleachers that you guys are.
Oh, okay. Guys, what do we do? Well,
Don't
I
all
mean,
jump at
we-
once.
The
we need
last
to catch
thing
this.
Dan was get the fuck out of my way. That guy took my head. I want to talk to him. So,
I mean,
Would we have heard that on the bleachers?
Roll perception.
Okay.
please have
Because
heard
the crowd is talking, so there's chatter.
Oh, I rolled a 19 plus. Not a lot. I think it's a plus. Oh, plus 3, so 22.
I rolled
Yeah,
less.
you would have heard this.
Dan?
You could literally just lean back over the bleachers and look down to see me fucking squaring off with this big mook.
I don't know where we are. Are we on the front of the bleachers? Are we in the back of the bleachers?
Yeah,
You're
like
at the
I
back of
mean,
the bleachers.
oh, we're on the back of the bleachers.
Basically at the top row.
I'll be like, hey, Gary, did you hear that? Hello? And she'll start looking around.
I'll lean back in the bleachers and kind of like fall backwards and do a flip off the bleachers to land behind them.
So
Rosie will just be like, oh my God. And then
And
she'll
one of
I
just
the
go,
look-
guys like, holy shit, he just fell off.
yeah, she'll go
I'm-
down the couch being like, excuse me, sorry. Coming through.
Okay.
And what's it look like down there? Or
There's a lot of spider web on the floor.
mostly under the bleachers.
under the bleachers.
And
And
they're
Dan is
standing on like a
currently
grating.
And I
We're
believe
standing on like a grating.
Rez was there too, wasn't she? Because she had just tried to grapple the guy.
Rez, AAA, and Dan you guys are together. And now Gary's here.
Okay, Rosie's gonna go down the bleachers and go to the opposite side of the bleachers to try to cut off the guy.
He's below us.
Oh, he's below y'all? Okay.
Right now, you guys, so the bleachers are sitting on these metal grates that have about a 3-inch hole grate style.
Can I get
Dan,
out?
I got an idea, Dan. Sorry.
No.
Dan, so I have these little fuzzy balls. And I can summon animals with them. And they might be able to sniff out the thing, and I can put them through the holes.
Dan, I have fuzzy balls.
Dan, I have fuzzy balls. I don't know what to do.
Dan and the fucking fighter in a guard just look at you like, what the fuck?
I'm saying this to specifically you.
I know. I'm like face to face with this motherfucker. So.
I see. Sorry, am I interrupting something? I have fuzzy balls.
This guy's in the way.
You gotta calm down or what? This man says to you, Dan. Do I have to get more security here?
Are we just gonna gloss over the fact that this thing fucking like melted through the grating down into your fighting arena and left this head behind? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, is this not a concern? But he sees that there is a melting head in his. But the thing is,
wait. Where was this guy when this was all happening?
So basically, here's the events. You guys chased Tiny out of the locker room. You cast spiderweb,
right?
While Rez was trying to grapple him.
Yep.
The announcers said we got a bit of a problem. Then the guard came. Basically, after he had slipped away.
Did he come from the locker room or from the main arena room?
He came from the main arena.
So technically,
this is not a guard you have. This is not the guard you talked with previously to get into the locker room.
But if Rez came from the locker room and I came from the main arena room, and then this guy is like coming up behind me, then
more or less, yes.
So I could just turn around and start walking to the locker room.
Yeah.
Does he not recognize the head? Because this guard works here. He probably sees people around because there's only one way in, one way out. He's probably run into people. If Dan holds up a head of a person that works here and says, "This is weird. There's a mutated person here," I feel like
there's an ooze man masquerading.
Yes, there's someone impersonating someone. Even if you don't say it's yourself, you're like, "Hey, there's a fake coach down here" or something.
Yeah, someone should say that.
Roll me a. I mean, can you say that?
I'll say it.
Right.
I can't say I'm good at persuasion though.
I'll say roll persuasion with advantage because that was pretty convincing.
Because it's like, yeah,
that makes sense.
This is a concern. 10.
Pretty persuasive.
Look, I'm not great at persuasion.
He's
all right?
handsome, but so dumb.
I don't know how to use this beauty.
He's working at a laundromat, guys. He's doing the best he can.
Just imagine what I just said, except with a bunch more stutters.
Oh my god. Well, you're lucky he rolled shit too. So he kind of looks at you and looks at the head, and he kind of like scratching his beard. I have seen that face before. I see a lot of faces. We do get decapitations every now and then, but that usually would be leaking a bit more.
I'm turning it over in my hands. I'm like, yeah, no, it's...
This isn't blood either.
Yeah, something doesn't look right there.
Yeah, no shit. I want to go fucking find this thing. I
Is
want
there
to turn
any
around and start
other way
walking
to
for a
leave
walk.
this place besides the elevator?
Not unless you know how to teleport.
Okay. I'm going to the elevator.
I'm going for the locker room.
Rosie made it down to the bleachers.
And we're just all spreading out.
Guys, I'm here. What do we?
I point
Meanwhile,
Rosie in the
Bruno's
direction of
just sitting in
Rez.
the stands.
I point
I'll go
Rosie in the
find
direction of Rez. I'm gonna go with Dan.
Alright.
Bruno, enjoy your show.
Follow Rosie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bruno did also tie a rope to himself and hand himself off to somebody.
Oh right.
Yeah, that was to Rez, but she.
Rez just handed that rope to someone else.
Someone in the
Just
crowd.
nobody in particular.
Just tie it to Bean.
Bruno's just been following this person around for like 10 minutes and finally looks up and is like, you're not my mom. Fucking yanks the leash and starts looking for Red.
Just tie it to Bean. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
following
just-
Bean.
Bruno, and I'll just put Bruno on top of Bean. You can just ride Bean around.
Yeah, I mean, Bean's bigger than me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
you can literally use Bean as a mount if you want, Bruno.
So it's Gary, Rosie, Rez, and then...
No, I'm
Bruno.
with you, Dan.
No, that's right.
Gary's going.
Bruno,
We split
Rosie-
up the fairy fires.
Bruno, Rosie, Rez, and then Dan, Gary, Triple M are going down.
Yeah.
Unless
That
Triple
can
A's doing something else.
Nope, I'm just following along.
Alright, so Dan, God damn. You said the name so quickly I got it mixed up.
Dan, Gary, Triple A.
Dan Gary AAA. There we go. I'm just gonna set you guys aside so
You can just say Dan Ria.
no, I won't be doing that.
Dan
That's
Ria.
just going to be
Danaria.
Dan.
Danaria.
Danaria.
Team Danaria.
Let's not. Okay.
And Rez Runzi.
Team
Rez'Veela.
Bruzy.
Brucey? I like that.
Team Bruzy and Danaria.
Our names, none of our names portmanteau well together. Unfortunately. Except for me and Rosie.
Yeah.
So Rez, Gary, or not. Rez, Bruno, and Rosie.
Bruzy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bruzy.
Bruzi.
Team
And
Bruzy.
Danaria.
Team Danaria.
And Danaria, where are you going?
I'm
Walker.
following Dan. Dan,
All right.
where are you leading us?
There's only one way down to that grating, and that's through a door that presumably leads to the locker room. So I'm going to find that fucking hallway and find that fucking thing.
Out of curiosity, like, if like you lifted up the grating, could you get down there? Is it like just a ball, or
think
could
it's
you like
like-
walk down there?
I think the floor is all grating.
The floor is all grading, basically.
Dan, can we just all just teleport down there? Like, we can all teleport.
He can't.
Gary teleports.
Dan's flashing if he wants to cast a spell or not.
If he's coming up this hallway, we're going to be behind him if we teleport. But if we cut him off if he's coming up this hallway,
I see. Yeah.
we're blocking his exit. So the only way back up would be back through the grating where Team Bruzy is waiting.
I'll
Fair.
offer key trees to Rez. Rez, would you like some key trees?
Oh, sure. Get the taste of blood out of
Yeah,
my mouth.
Rez puts them on her finger.
It's like with bugles, like on the silver
Yeah,
claws.
exactly.
It works better than bugles.
It's French.
Okay, so you're heading into the locker room, or are you teleporting in?
Uh,
I want to try and cut him off if he's trying to escape through whatever exits are behind the locker room.
yeah.
So if you are going to head to the locker room, AAA and Gary will follow you. And as you open up the door to the locker room, you do hear the announcers come up. Looks like we got a little bit of a problem, folks. We'll be delaying the next fight for a little bit, so you just hold on in. We should have this fight next 10 minutes here, so. And that's that. Seems like the guard told them what was going on.
I forget, was the next fight scheduled supposed to have Tiny in it?
I don't think we know. They hadn't
We do not
announced
know
the next fighters yet.
They hadn't announced it.
No.
But they're taking bets on him.
They were taking bets on
For
Tiny.
people just
Okay,
love to
that's-
bet.
That's good to know.
That's the way it works. Is
Well-
bets are taken before the fight starts.
Before they announce, the fighters are announced.
Yes, because usually they have a set lineup on who will be in there. Who will
So
be
the fight-
fighting in the day.
The fights are random, but you're betting on your favorite fighter.
More or less, yes.
Okay, interesting. Well, how many exits are there out of the locker room?
So as you walk into the locker room again, now that you're not looking specifically for the ooze man, you get a little better look of the locker room. You know, you got some tables with some beer, some food for the fighters. You got small little cot, various lockers for their equipment. You've got some weights lying around. And as you look around, you see the one that you just entered from, where it leads into the fighting ring, and then you've got the one that you got into the locker room previously from, where the bodyguard was. And looking around, you do not see a door entrance. Another door, I should say.
So there's only one door into the locker room at all?
There are two doors, basically. The one where the bodyguard was when you first entered into the locker room, and then the one that leads out to the fighting.
Is Tiny in the fighting ring from Team Rosie?
Like in the fighting ring?
Yeah.
Well, he's invisible, so you can't really see him.
But we saw him. Well, I guess we didn't see him ooze to the floor, did we?
I felt
We
him
saw him.
like just drop out of my hands, and then the head got left behind. So I assumed he oozed through the floor.
Rez felt it.
You did also have your blind sense or something like that.
Yeah, my
Where you could-
blind sight.
Yeah, where you could basically sense him going down through the grates.
Yeah.
Are there any fighters in the locker room right now?
There are, let's see, there are 5 fighters and two kind of like managers.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask of the room. It's like, hey, how the fuck do you get down to the bell room?
One of the managers pipes up. It's on one of the doors next to the VIP.
Son of a bitch. All right, fine. Turning around, heading in that direction.
All right. So, exiting the locker room, the same bodyguard that let you in earlier is there. You pass him, go to the opposite side of the fighting ring, basically from the outside, and you see a set of doors and a different bodyguard in front of this set of doors.
Okay. And it's 2 sets of doors?
It's a double door, basically.
Oh, it's only one double door. Okay.
This looks like a half orc.
And this is the only other set of doors.
Correct.
Okay. I guess I just tell him, hey, I gotta get down to the bell room. The guy with the fucking head went down there. And I hold up the head.
Dan, that is not very convincing.
Ugh.
That head is a free pass into any room.
All pass?
Head pass? Yeah, the other guard told me about that. Something was going on with that. You can find Tiny, good luck.
What's that supposed to mean?
What do you mean?
Good luck.
Good luck.
If I
It
can
sounded
find-
sarcastic.
What do you know about this guy?
Doesn't really talk much to people, so not too much.
Well, apparently it's not tiny because this is not tiny. I show the head that he is holding.
Clearly.
Has this door opened
Nope.
since after the last fight?
Nobody's been in or out of here. I would know.
All right. Well, if you'll excuse us, we need to get down to the bell room. So
Right away. And he opens up the door, and yeah, as you enter in, you see another bodyguard in front of some stairs, and it looks like it's got like one of those like little blocks. I can't think of the specific term.
the red velvet rope.
Thank you. Yes, one of those. And then just next to that is a door labeled bell entrance.
Got it. As I walk towards the bell entrance, I'll ask the guy in front of the rope, has anybody come out of that door?
I haven't seen anything.
I'm
So
gonna lean over to where I assume Dan's ear is, and I'm gonna whisper,
I am like a foot shorter. You would have to lean.
"Yeah, do you think this guy could shapeshift into one of these guards?"
Maybe. I feel like
If he could shapeshift, why wouldn't he just shapeshift into Dan? Why wouldn't he need a
why
head?
was he wearing a head? That's the
He's
weird part.
goo.
He's a goo man, but he was. This is so confusing. Fuck it. I'm going for the door.
All right,
All right.
come on, AAA.
Okay, let's go.
You open the door, and it leads you down a set of curving stairs that eventually flatten out into just a long hallway that then turns a sharp right, and you go to the entrance. There isn't really a door there, more the outside of the bell, and it's got like a little latch on the bell itself, and you can see a cutout, basically a rectangle cutout on it.
To get inside of it.
Correct.
Okay.
And while we're
So-
going down that hallway, I'm like stamping on the floor just to make sure nothing passes by.
Yeah, I think Dan's also kind of like trying to be mindful. Like, are we stepping in goop? Is
Yeah,
everything on the walls?
Taking a little bit harder steps.
I'll like summon the spider. I'll have the spider kind of zigzag up and down the wall as we go. I'll cast Mage Hand. I'll have Mage Hand running its hand across the wall, the other wall, just every possible sensory thing we can get out there.
I'll say with all that, I'll have you all give me a perception with advantage.
Or investigation.
Sure, why
Or
not?
Okay, that's 17.
17. Okay.
I rolled a 10.
That's a good investigation.
I mean, yeah, 17 off of a 10 is still pretty damn good.
Impressive.
So, yeah, as you guys are going through this area, just stepping a little harder, brushing your hands up against the walls, having a spider and a mage hand, just go all over, just kind of looking over this this area. You eventually see, or not see, I should say. Actually, no. You would see this. You catch this out of the corner of your eye. It's very transparent, but you do step in some goo just near the bell. And now that you're looking at it, you can see kind of a thin, kind of, it's hard to say definitively. It's kind of like a thin lining all around the this rectangle of the bell cutout, and you can see a small trail leading down the hallway.
The hallway we just came down?
Correct.
You missed him.
Okay, then we follow the trail back down the hallway.
Yeah.
Bastard.
And going off of that same perception, as you reach the door of the of where basically you entered in from, you see that same kind of thin line of ooze all along the outer edges of this door.
As in, like, along all of the edges?
Basically along the bottom and the side that opens up.
So like the bottom and one side?
Correct.
Okay. So stepping through the door and back into that hallway, is there a trail leading out of the door frame up the stairwell to the VIP room? Or does it go somewhere else?
So this trail is starting to get fairly thin, but you can still make it out in the glint of kind of the lights and the flames just going on. You see a trail leading up the stairway.
Motherfucker. I'm gonna slap the shoulder of the guy standing at the rope. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, guy, what are you doing?" And I point at the slime trail.
And point at the slime on the head, right? Make the connection.
Yeah, it's like this guy literally snuck past you to the VIP room.
He was about to say, like, I didn't do that. What are you implying?
The slime man that we're looking for clearly got past you. Is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna poke my head out of this room, and I'm just gonna wave my hand to Team Bruise.
Mm-hmm.
Bruisey. And be like, I'm gonna just like mouth like VIP rooms in their general direction. I'll be like, VIP rooms. And then I'll close the door and get back with Dan.
Is there a way to, like, random question, VIP room, it's like above everything, right?
Correct.
Is there like a window, like, is it like an open window where someone could like crawl out of the VIP room and down?
There's a balcony, right?
There's 3 balconies that you see in this fighting room. 2 on the north side of the wall, and 1 on the south side. The south side is where the announcers are, and the 2 on the north side, they currently have occupants on the top of these balconies.
And the announcer one and the 2 balconies all go to the VIP room? Or does the announcer one go to like an announcer room?
I think presumably, although we haven't really seen any other doors.
That's it. You do not know that directly, but it wouldn't be that hard to put together considering they're all on the same height.
Okay.
We could infer the information.
Correct.
VIP room is where it probably went. Is that correct?
Either that or the announcer's room, but he went.
That's
up
what I
the-
whispered to you.
Right.
Who do you guys see on the balconies?
I mean, do you guys want us to stay out here and keep an eye out, or do you want us to follow you?
I just whispered VIP to you guys.
Okay, I will
Alright, I
walk
guess we can-
back over.
I think I'm gonna just stay where I am and look for a slime trail that might be coming down from the VIP.
A bad idea.
Are either of the... I mean, it'd be pretty easy to get up there from here.
I mean, Rez could probably just jump it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I
Balconies
feel
are
like
pretty high for what it's worth.
Well,
She's
are they
in
high
the-
enough that 100 feet of rope and a grappling hook couldn't get me up there?
No, but that definitely would look weird.
I have a
You mean
question.
badass?
Are all
A little
of
bit
the
of column A, a little column B. All of
the announcer room and the VIP balconies would not be encompassed in a 20-foot cube, correct?
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
They're basically on the opposite sides of this large fighting.
Okay.
Like, all right, I'm just gonna pop fairy fire.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but that's not.
We're just gonna start
I'll-
spamming fairy fire.
Well, I can only do it
For
twice.
reference, I'll stream Tailspire so you guys can get an idea. We're in the upper floor area.
Watch.
I can cast it up to 3 times per day as well.
Give me the room code.
Yeah, but there's no windows into those VIP rooms.
There's doors.
Are there?
Are there?
Oh,
Yeah. There are doors there, but yes, I couldn't. It wouldn't let me directly place them there. So
So use your imagination.
yes. Here's the room code if you need it.
I'm glad it's so sunny out.
I know, all right.
Well lit.
I'm beaming in from the roof.
Yeah, I should say this place would be very dark, but it's got a lot of light.
So
Yeah, these are the northern side balconies where there are some people in there, and then on the opposite side, at the same height, there is the announcers.
Your room code. Oh no, it worked. Okay, we're good. Sorry, it rejected me twice and then it worked on the third time, so okay, cool.
All right.
I do need to be summoned, I believe, though.
Tailspire just doing Tailspire things.
Mm-hmm. Tools. Mission. Go. All right.
Okay.
I almost rolled 3 20s in one roll.
God damn.
Yeah, I rolled 3 20s that die. I got 20, 20, and 18.
Jesus.
And now I'll never do that again.
worst.
So yeah, with that, I would say the guard, I don't hear anything, but if something got up there. Let me see if I can call my guys. Do you think this is a ooze guy?
I feel I'm just gonna like look at him pretty blankly and just be like, I'm gonna point at the head, point at the ooze on the door. Yes.
All right, I just haven't seen anything like that, but all right.
For the record, I'm pretty sure Team Bruzy is going to just be on high alert perception out here, looking for slime.
Yeah.
All right.
So last thing I would suck is if we all go up there and then he's crawled down from the balcony.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
fair.
then he just slimes his way up the elevator.
And if they need us, we have a grappling hook.
Okay, so the guard does walk away from the stairway and just kind of knocks on the back of the door for the main entrance and gestures for the guard to follow with him. So So yeah, if you guys have seen this thing, you can come up with us and see if you can't ID this guy.
Damn straight.
Yeah, let's go.
But no eating any of the hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, whatever.
They call it.
We just rush up the stairs.
Do we look like we eat?
Yeah, I'm skin and
You mean
bones,
the
man.
hors d'oeuvres?
And
Hey, I
he's
don't
literally
judge.
just bones.
Actually, I don't know
Dude.
if Triple A is disguised as a person or not. I can't remember.
Oh, he's probably
Triple
not.
A's currently is a oh shit, what was I?
Some form of
The
dragonborn,
Dragonborn?
I'm sure.
I think you did a blue.
No.
Dragonborn. No?
Did I? Did I?
That's what I thought you did.
I can't remember. If not, I'll amend that to do I look like I eat?
Okay, I guess I'm a blue dragonborn. That's fine.
So, heading up
Toggle
the
this.
stairs,
Oh shit! Oh
you
shit!
can see. Fuck this is. There. Okay, so heading upstairs. Since I didn't put any walls, Rez should be able to see them all.
Ah, clever.
Can you see them, Rez?
He's not at his desk.
Oh, he's not away.
He stepped away. The second you ask for him. Jeez.
Go figure. So anyways, yes, you head into the VIP room, and as you step up into the VIP room, just to your left, you see a set of double doors with glass. You can see there it's labeled announcer's room, and then you see lots of food, lots of drinks, waiters kind of bussing around, getting food to people. Several people just sitting down talking about the last fight, all this kind of stuff. It's a very posh upper scale compared to the rabble down below.
Can we still follow the slime trail?
So as you get up, you see slime trail disappears. It is no longer in this carpeted area.
Damn thick carpets. They're like sponges.
Well, I'll have the spider begin combing the room for some sign of this guy.
See, I want to use my fuzzy balls, but the problem is if I roll the wrong animal, I could end up summoning a giant elk in here, and that wouldn't really help for sniffing out something.
No, that would not.
But like a badger or like a weasel, like that'd be perfect.
You know, you gotta gamble.
You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a useful animal for this.
Otherwise, it exists for 24 hours.
You have the back. Oh wait, no, Bruno has the bag of devouring.
Yeah, but if it's like a big animal, that'd be kind of nasty.
In the meantime, I think Dan will start trying to find the trail again. Just get all up in this fucking VIP room.
Okay.
Start checking the ground around people's feet. Start checking chairs and tables, door frames, furniture like that has space under it. Just anywhere that he could have hide or maybe have transformed or slithered to.
So, I'll say I'm going to need another investigation then.
Okay, I'm going to use my inspiration because that was garbage.
All right.
Much better. That's going to be a 22.
22. Okay. So looking through, and kind of referencing what you saw on the stairs as it led up, you do catch one thing that kind of seems out of the ordinary comparatively to what you've been looking for. Before you were following just small little puddles and small little blips and blops. Kind of comparing it back to the stairs, you see like a lot of those on one set of stairs, and then it goes back, it doesn't go back. It disappears after that, before it hits the carpet. You can make the distinction that this creature was here in this spot on the stairway for a while, and then the trail disappeared afterward. It doesn't increase, like it doesn't look like it's going back down the stairs, but it does stop very close to the top of the VIP.
I mean, I'll start looking around the top of the VIP stairs, trying to figure out where he went.
So on that, you do not get anything solid, I would say, on a 22. You can see that the rips and drops stopped after this kind of puddle and bigger amounts of drops. Like it was standing there for some time.
Okay.
Dan, do you think someone is this like someone's pet?
He can talk, so I don't think it's a pet per se.
I don't know. These blips and blops disappear. Someone must have picked him up or something.
So how many people are in the VIP room?
So right now, there's the 2 guards that are kind of spanning out and just looking around. You also see 5 people that look very well employed for themselves, and then you've got 2 waiters just kind of bustling around.
I'm gonna go up to one of the guards and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, did you see anyone come up the stairs other than us recently?"
No. These guards are worthless.
What? I don't. I'm not a security guard. It's called theater security. Or security
So
theater.
what one of the guards will tell you, although now that I think about it, there's more people in here than I've let up.
We're playing Among Us.
Well, AAA knows people.
Does AAA know every person?
I mean, he's good with people. He knows how to people.
It's true. What's this? Let's see here.
I'm gonna get right up in one of the waiters' face and just fucking stare him down. Like no words, just like grab him by the shoulders, spin him around to face me, just fucking stare at him.
Can I get you anything, sir? A bottle of oil on the rocks?
How stupid does this waiter sound? Does he sound like he's pretending to be a waiter? I want to roll
What do you
insight.
even roll for that?
Insight.
I want to roll
Give me insight.
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight.
14.
He looks like a fucking busboy. You just scared the shit out of him.
All right, I just kind of push him to the side. I go to the next waiter.
Does he feel gooey when you push him?
Question. Good question.
Is there any goo residue on any people in this?
When he sweats, does it just fucking just drip like a big, thick, stringy?
Like an anime drip?
Yeah.
Like hot glue?
Yeah.
No, he does not.
Okay. He doesn't feel gooey. I'll go to the next waiter. Same bit.
This one looks like he's a bit more experienced. There's no need for roughhousing, sir. I can get you whatever you like.
He sounds just as much like a waiter as the other guy. Fuck, I don't know.
Damn, this slime is good.
He's an expert. Also, David, could you move a copy of Rez'Veela to the VIP room so I can
Sure.
see what's going on?
I was curious. I took out the walls, but I bet the walls in the fighting.
I think
room
it's the
were
doors.
wide. Ah.
Also,
no,
David,
that's
I'm
Rosie. Crap, wrong one.
David, I'm straight up like roll call Mario Party minigaming this, like keeping track of the number of people in the room.
Okay.
So it's like, is it 5, 6, 5? Yep, there's six people. I'm making sure who's if anyone's leaving or coming in.
Okay. What are the VIPs doing since the wait staff is useless to me?
So a few of them looked at you after you scared the shit out of the busboy, but they quickly go back to just drinking. They just look like they're talking to each other and discussing who they're going to bet on next, if they want to up the ante at all. It just seems like they're just talking about.
I have an idea. I have an
Four?
idea, Dan. I'm gonna go up to. So they're not singular VIPs. There's like groupings, right? There's like, oh, I came here with my friend, right?
I mean, you could ask that.
All right, I'm gonna go up to one of the VIPs and be like, hey, did you come here with anybody?
So you approach a kind of thin looking half elf holding a wine glass, and he just kind of looks you up and down. I came myself. Like to watch the fights.
Do you know the regulars here?
I mean, I know a few, but we get
Does
so many
anyone-
rich people here.
Is anyone in this room that isn't me, the Blue Dragonborn, or the Metal Man look out of place?
Kind of scans the room. Hmm. You know, now that I think about it, that fellow right over there, and he points to a Goliath laughing with one of the other patrons. I haven't seen him here in a long while. He used to come down here once or twice, but I've never seen him in the past. Well, how long has it been? A month or so? Maybe 2?
Correct me if I'm wrong, DM, but Goopy Man, when you described him before he dissolved visibly, you said he had Goliath arms, like big, meaty, fucking gray arms.
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna hand over 6 silver wheels and be like, thanks for the assistance.
Well, looks like I'm getting wasted tonight. Waiter!
Gotta be ritzy with these guys. And I go to Daniel and point at the Goliath and be like, I think that might be the guy.
Okay. I think Dan's just gonna stand there and just stare at this guy, just from across the room, just watching him.
Hold up the
See
head.
what he does.
See if he's doing his
He's
task.
probably got his arms crossed and has like the head like just gripped by the hair, like under one of the elbows. Just kind of tapping his feet.
I mean, you're making it obvious, Dan.
Where else is he gonna go?
Fair.
So, as you're looking at this guy, just giving him the death stare, he doesn't seem to take the bait for a few moments. But as they joke with the rest of the party, he does eventually look around, and he does catch sight of you, and he kind of does like just a very, very slight little double take, and he just goes back to talking like he didn't.
Can I cock my head and start walking towards him?
And I'm also so one of the guards came up with us, right? The guy that was guarding the VIP lounge.
Guards.
I'm gonna go up to him and be like, "There's like 6 people in here. Did you let that Goliath up here?"
And the guard looks. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered a Goliath.
All right.
his
We
ass,
already
dude.
know that. We already know that grabbing him does nothing. He got out of a web.
Yeah, he's got stupid dex shit. We could just beat the shit out of him.
Disintegrate.
I don't have that
Just-
spell.
You didn't get that spell scroll?
I didn't prepare it today.
Sneak up behind him and pull the bag of devouring over his head.
I think Rosie has the bag of devouring.
Yeah, she does.
He does.
Bruno does. 'Cause I didn't want to.
Bruno has the bag of devouring?
Yeah, because he has a bag of holding.
Oh, right.
yeah, so you can keep it in there.
I mean, one of y'all could try to come get us.
I could send the spider.
The spider can't talk.
Spider can go make itself an irritant.
You're gonna
until
bring it
the-
up to Rosie, and Rosie's gonna be like,
I'm
"Oh
gonna
God, a
scream.
spider!"
A spider! Squish!
Feel a bug.
Damn it! That's
I'll
You
just
don't
look
think
absentmindedly at you and be like, that was probably Dan's.
Oh shit. Oh no. He won't be mad, will he?
You have to pay him 10
Pay
gold.
for it.
I love the idea of the spider walking up and like Dan's using it as vision, and then Rosie just like steps, and he's like, "God damn it!"
What's funny is I could totally see Rosie doing that, going, "Oh god, spiders!"
Just like
Feel
reaction.
a bug.
Yeah, she sees it on res. Ah! Smack.
The spider would be very obvious about it too. He'd like crawl up you on your arm and just have the big like dancing waving arm thing they do.
He's ready to strike.
What if she thought he was about to bite? Yeah, he's about to
Rose
strike.
just like brings her hand down.
You just see both Rez and Rosie just
That
like.
spider was 1 second from biting you, Rez.
Turns into a fucking Triton girl.
Bring the morning to this. I mean, if you want to do the spider, but
I'm gonna send a spider. I think that unless anybody else is leaving the room, I don't think anyone's leaving the room. So I'm
I
sending
mean,
a
I could do
spider.
I could send a cockroach.
you want to see Rosie panic?
If you send a spider riding a cockroach, we'll probably get that message pretty clearly.
Yeah, probably.
And
Yeah,
we're
that's
both
too
doing
big
the
of a
hand-
coincidence.
Yeah, they're both doing the arm wave thing.
Sadly, I have no direct control over Draco. He's more of just a pet, but
Anyway,
Well,
you send
I
him the
send the
spider.
spider. I send the spider.
Alright, cool. I take out the grappling hook.
How does the spider? Because Rosie will kill the spider if it touches.
I mean,
Rez.
the
Or
spider
she-
will probably crawl up towards Rez, just because I think I've worked with Rez enough that she would know.
I have the highest
Probably
perception of this group, so or of this section of the group. So
Also that. So yeah,
Wait, can I roll perception to see if I see it?
motherfucker.
Well, we
Really
were
wanna
supposed to
kill
be
it.
looking for that. We want to see if I'll kill it.
You owe me 10 gold. I'm just saying.
Okay, I rolled a 14.
It's a spider. I don't think they have very high stealth.
I get like a +6, I think.
Do they?
I think for
I don't
tiny.
think that much.
No, +4.
+4.
So-
Okay, fair.
Beats it, beats it.
Oh, did I beat it?
That's his
I mean,
passive stealth.
His passive stealth would be a 14, so I mean,
Oh god, a spider! Smack.
cool.
But Rosie will say, "Oh my god, a spider!" before she attempts to smack it. So
I
That's
will
probably
half-heartedly attempt to stop you.
It's
I'll-
probably Dan's.
I'll roll with disadvantage.
Rosie, no.
No, don't stop. Don't kill it.
No, stop.
I rolled 2 16s though, so
so I guess I can. Do I just roll to hit this?
Let's just roll a dice, and we'll just see who gets a higher number.
It's a contest, right?
I rolled a 3.
Okay. So as you're about to squish it, Rez just like bumps you with her elbow, and you just step on the wrong spot. It's probably Dan's.
Oh.
It does the little wave thing.
Yep, that's the dance he does.
That's the Dan dance.
That's the Dan.
That's upsetting.
That's the Dan dance.
He used to do that
It'll
dance when we finished the
scuttling.
mission.
It'll start scuttling back towards the VIP room.
All right, I'm
Dan
running.
used emote.
I'm gonna run up the bleachers that are nearest to the VIP balcony, and I'm gonna toss up a grappling hook, and then we're gonna. At least I'm gonna start climbing as fast as I can to get up there.
Oh, you're gonna grappling hook up there?
Yeah, why not?
I have it.
I have this grappling hook.
Might as well use it.
Do you have a climbing speed? Otherwise, I think it's half movement.
It's probably half movement.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
have a climbing,
climbing-
speed built in.
Climbing is treated like the whole terrain. It's
As you throw the grapple, the announcer's like, "Don't worry, folks. This is all part of the test we're doing. Just making sure the building is structurally up to code."
Can we hear this from the VIP room?
Yes, you can.
You also see a grappling hook just like over the
Out
balcony.
the window. Yeah. Does the Goliath react to any of that?
You hear the Goliath kind of stops talking and is just kind of looking around at his options right now. I will say you do also hear one other thing from the announcer, and to the lady Dragonborn in the booth, you may want to head into the VIP instead of that, because she is climbing. Wow, she's actually climbing pretty fast. And with that, after like a few moments, a female Dragonborn does walk in from the VIP.
Oh wait, this is not Rez?
No, the
This-
lady who was in the balcony.
An actual
She was in the
dragonborn.
balcony. Yes, an actual dragon.
So I guess
Kind of
while
halvesy.
Rez is climbing, then Dan is going to be approaching, I think, the Goliath. And he's going to set the head down on the table next to him and just look him dead in the eye. Be like, yeah, that tiny, huh? Quite a character. I'm sorry, what were we
You
talking
didn't
about?
decapitate him, did you?
No, he dropped this.
Just want to get it back.
Oh,
I look very pointedly at the Goliath.
he dropped his head.
Well, he dropped a head. Not sure it was his.
That's what Tiny was wearing.
So you knew he was wearing it? Sorry, I'm not there.
Is this the Goliath saying all this, or
This is the
something else?
Goliath.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you're up close, you notice. I'm not even going to have you roll for this. You notice the eyes are, they look like they're bulging out of the socket a bit.
The clue.
You get the hot glue drip of sweat coming down his forehead yet?
You do not. He seems suspiciously dry.
Too dry. He needs lotion.
Bruno and I, what are we doing?
Good question. What are you guys doing?
Or are we staying by the
I left the
door?
rope for you guys to climb if you want.
Rosie's not very strong.
I'm hanging on to a big cat.
Bruno's riding the bean.
Okay. Well said.
And this is why the cat is named Bean.
I guess I'll ask Bruno if he wants to climb the rope, but I'm gonna try to go up the stairs.
I go where the bean goes.
All right, we're going up the stairs.
All right.
All right. You guys head up the stairs, and now.
I assume I make it up the balcony at this point.
Yes. Doesn't take you too long.
I will beeline it to wherever, I guess Dan is, since he signaled us.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't take you too long. You eventually climb up, head through the VIP room, and yeah, you are in the same room as the rest of the folk. I think that should have everybody in here now. So Dan is talking with this Goliath individual as you just plopped down the head.
Rez would have come from the balcony, right?
Correct.
Yep.
And you see Dan next to the Goliath.
And a
Making
head
awkward
just on the
conversation.
table.
Yeah.
The other guests have kind of walked away. They're like, leave their head on the table.
Did you find
Guards, are we okay? And the guards more or less, they just kind of usher them over and they're talking.
Yeah. I mean, as Rez approaches, I just kind of nod at the Goliath. And I'll turn back to him and just ask him, it's like, so you already got the shit? Or are you going to make this difficult?
He waits for the last patron of the VIP to walk over and start talking with the guards. And in a softer voice, he caught me. So yeah, what do you want to know?
Where'd you get the head?
And from the black market.
Just happened to find the head on sale and then track down its former owner's brother to what was the plan with Leon exactly?
So, okay, you are the original Dan. Your brother actually talked quite well of you, or you should know that. But I will be honest, it happened out of complete coincidence. We were at a bar, I believe it was on 7th Street, and wouldn't you know, he recognized you, and well, the rest is history from that point.
Well, no, the rest isn't history, exactly.
Well, I figured you put 2 and 2 together to get here.
How did you get him into this fighting situation? Was he already here, or did you just jump on him? Did you see an opening?
Forgive me, I do not mean to speak ill of your brother, but he is quite dumb when he's drunk. He told me how he was in a lot of debt, and I saw that as a good way to make some money.
So you thought you could use my brother just to make some quick cash? That's all it was to you? Just business? Just an easy mark?
When you're dealing with mafia sorts, that's always what it is. It's just business. As he hands you a card. And the card says the Dark Elf Syndicate.
Dark Elf Syndicate? Do I recognize that name?
I would also like to try and recognize this name.
Give me a history for the both of you.
Wonder who's got better history.
Fuck, that one.
Quick question.
Oof.
Is Rosie there now?
Rosie is there, yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna also roll.
Me
Did you
too.
walk up to the table?
Yeah, I would.
Can I also roll a history since
Yep.
AAA?
Anyone who wants to can roll a history.
I was gonna say AAA has been educated at least. So.
Yes.
Yeah, AAA might actually have connections to these people.
Natural 20 plus 2.
Hey,
I got a
Nice.
4.
Let me see if that's right. Oh, plus
Yeah.
2. Oh,
mine
I
was a
got
6
it.
total.
11.
Everyone is
Bruno?
so good.
I actually got a 14,
I got a
which is great because I have a -1.
24.
Yeah.
So I'd say AAA and Rosie, you would know this. The Dark Elf Syndicate is kind of a startup mafia. They have not been able to break the mold, so to say, of disrupting the three greats, being the Orc Mafia, the Devil Mafia, and the Demon Council. But they are kind of a less powerful mafia. They are still intimidating, but it seems like they are still trying to break the mold, so to say.
Make a name for themselves.
Yes. You would know that the Dark Elf Mafia is they more do things in secret, which is one of the reasons that you don't hear about them very often. They usually tend to do things through subterfuge and disguise, false identities, things like that.
Is it supposed to protect you or something? I'll ask him.
Check my identity, yes.
I'll probably look at Rez. Just shoot her a look. Like I think this is about to pop off, and I'm gonna tell him. When I hear from your boss after this, I'm sure he'll understand. This was just business, and I'm gonna cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the guy.
All right, so let's roll initiative then.
Ooh, hell yeah. Let's go, boys.
That's a pretty good roll for me.
What'd Bruno get?
And females.
I
don't
gotta-
forget about females.
Gotta get the. I
A one
gotta.
finger.
And girl.
Boys and girls.
24.
4.
Good
Very
Bruno.
nice.
I got a 20
19 plus-
total for Rose.
19 plus 5, baby.
Nice. Rez, you got 20?
20 total.
Okay. Rosie got a 12.
17.
Okay.
I got a 9.
All right. Gary with a 9. AAA, what's your initiative?
Sorry, I've been trying to roll it this entire time, but my mouse is being stupid.
5. 5?
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh.
Which actually suits me perfectly because I have to hit the bathroom really quick.
All right.
All right, perfect.
Actually, does
Triple A
work
goes
pretty well.
to the bathroom for first.
David, that
What
means
did
you
I
can't
miss?
take reactions. That means you can't take reactions. So if you want to run by him,
All right. Okay, so start us off then, Bruno.
Which one's the dark
So
elf?
that would be this guy. So let me move everybody else over to with the guards. Where they were.
She being rotten.
She was very playful.
So Bruno, you are right here. Dan is right here,
We're in a queue.
and the Goliath is right here.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the Goliath right.
Okay. You just hop up on the table, then
Yep.
run over, hop down.
And I'm gonna shank a motherfucker.
All right. Give me some shanks.
14.
14. That meets it.
So that's. Oh god, and this is with a sneak attack. Oh god, I don't know if I have that many dice.
You just roll the same dice multiple times.
I don't know where it is. Late at night.
And then it's 4. Oh no, wait, no, 1d6. Check my sneak attack damage.
Okay.
Because I think I wrote it down wrong. Look. Oh nope, it was right. All right, good.
Right.
So then that's 3d6. Yeah. Okay. And then 13.
13. Okay. Pretty good hit.
And then I'm gonna disengage and make room. So I'm gonna go to the other side of the table I'm on.
Okay. Gauge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sound of disengaging.
Okay. All right. Bruno has disengaged after doing a stab, and as you stab in, you notice this thing, your dagger sinks in. Like you feel a little bit of resistance, but then this thing becomes very gooey on the inside. It's weird. It still looks like it did some damage, but it's hard to describe. And your dagger is now covered in this ooze.
Short sword, but yeah.
Short sword, yeah.
Okay. Ugh. Slimy.
That brings us over to Reds.
Okie dokie.
It's clobbering time.
That's my catchphrase. I'm gonna go over to where Bruno was.
Everybody jumping on the table.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I'll just kind of flank it with Dan. I'll go around to this side.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess might as well use this thing I've got. I'll use the bonus action Eldritch Maul tattoo thing to activate it. And then
Okay.
I will just take a strike with my action, I suppose. Power tattoo for 1 minute. Weapon for unarmed strike creature. So I guess it'll be with the spear for this attack.
Okay.
That might not hit. That's a. Oh no, this would be. Sorry, this would be an unarmed strike. It makes more sense. Regardless, that's only a 14 to hit.
So as you go to strike this thing, after it just got hit by the short sword, you go to strike this thing, and your hand just bounces off a invisible shield.
Okay. Let's see.
An invisible shield?
Yes,
Okay.
Did he
like a magic shield.
Did he
So
incant?
Did he
when
cast
did this?
shield?
Yeah, did he cast a spell?
You did not see him cast the spell.
Okay. Yeah, that's action, bonus action movement, so I'm done for now.
Okay. And that takes us to, let's see here. That brings us to Slimy Boy's turn.
Not Slimy Boy.
Let's see. see, what is he? Got quite a list. He is looking. He quickly looks through the party, and he is going to stare at you, Gary. And I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Why, yes.
One moment.
Do it.
Do I, with my Fey ancestry, I have advantage on saving throws that avoid charmed condition.
This is a charm condition spell.
Hell yeah. Racial trait.
Shouldn't have chose you.
Oops.
Also, I think I have advantage in wisdom. No, I have strength and dex, never mind.
Yeah, Rangers are strength and dex.
That's an 18.
18.
It would have been a 10, so I'm glad I had advantage.
Let's see. Yep, that beats it. Okay. So you feel a wave of magic that wanted to control you just wash over you, but you were able to bat it off.
Well, that's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Gross.
That's not good.
I'm glad I didn't do that on Rez.
Oh my god.
Rez has wisdom proficiency though.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
Rosie doesn't. I mean, I don't. Never mind, Dan.
Rosie, shut up.
Boy, I hope it doesn't target me. I'm so weak and vulnerable to that.
Ooh, whoops.
Oops. I'm just kidding.
And then after
Like-
that, let's see.
Is he gonna try to move it all, or is he like?
I hope so.
Why, yes, he is. In a puff of magic, he
Boo.
teleports all the way over here.
That's the
How
lame
did
way
he
of
do that?
moving.
You guys knew he was a caster.
No, how is he casting 2 leveled spells in one turn?
I wonder. Maybe he's got a class feature or something that lets him do that.
That's shady.
Yeah,
You know,
anyone who
something
can
that breaks the
teleport
action economy.
as a class feature sucks.
It's
Yeah.
not a class feature.
It has to be a race feature. That's what matters.
Not a class feature or a race feature.
Then it's a bullshit feature.
Nope.
It's
It's a
called.
bonus action.
Ooh.
So
Where you
that is
tele-
his turn.
Oh, he teleported over there.
He,
Okay.
he tried to cast it on you, and then he teleported away in a puff of mist.
And a puff of shit.
Alright, well. We surround him again.
Okay. All right. So next up is Dan.
Cool. I was going to cast Tasha's on him, so I'm casting Tasha's.
Okay.
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see. What does he need to beat?
17.
These nuts.
Well, you should have made him roll first and then tell you what he needed to be. Now I can fudge it.
Nope. He fails.
There we go.
Oh, he's laughing.
And the voice that the Goliath had originally take fades away into this. It sounds almost like a creature is talking through water, and as this creature kind of buckles over and falls onto the ground, you watch as the head rolls off and the arms of this Goliath fall off as well, as this thing falls over laughing. And you can see now this thing is this amorphous semi-humanoid shape comprised entirely of ooze, like slime. And you'd be able to see this looks like you guys would know most of the races around here. This is a very rare race, but this is a plasmoid.
Yep.
Slime girls are canon.
Oh, good thing this is a boy.
Dan takes off his mask and reveals a slime man underneath now.
We're all slimes.
Dan's gonna walk over to him and start rifling through his pockets, just taking whatever he's got on him.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I want to grab a bag.
Wait, is he dead?
Call.
Oh, right.
Tasha's
He's, Tasha's right. Yeah, okay.
He's incapacitated.
How long does that last?
For a
Lapse.
minute.
A minute?
But
Okay.
he saves on his turns, right?
At the end of his turn, he saves, or when he takes damage.
Correct.
He has to roll a save. So I'm going to walk over, and as I walk, I'll call back to the party. He's like, somebody got a bag? And I'm just going to start looting them.
Can we put him in a bag?
I would say, can we put him in a special bag?
I don't think you're going to be able to put him in willingly. Like, he can... I believe he can still...
He is
No, he's incapacitated. That's right.
He's straight up incapacitated.
Wow. Okay. So... Let's see.
Sorry about your boss, David.
I mean, you can actually escape the bag of devouring.
It's true.
It's not just
Not
a
if
free
we
win.
close it.
It requires a saving throw.
DC 15 strength check to try to escape. Any creature that starts its turn inside the bag is devoured.
So I can do it now, and then the next turn, it's over.
Or we're just trying to kill him, right?
I mean, that's what
yeah.
Dan wants to do.
That's what Dan wants.
100%
Okay.
what he's implying.
Well, you can give me the bag, because I still haven't gotten it.
Well,
Right?
Either way, whoever can get to him next, you know.
I mean,
help me
I'll
with him,
get
and
to him
we'll
before
get back.
his next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Okay, well then I'll do nothing.
So, help me loot him.
Are we still in initiative order, or what? How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
We are still in initiative order.
What does he have in his pockets?
So in his pockets, you do find more cards for the syndicate. It looks like he had a few of them on hand. You see some 2 sets of folded up papers, and then let's see. Right now, he's got a metal breastplate on him right now. That's on his chest. And let's see, this would be like a breastplate. You would also see about 700 gold pieces, or golden eagles.
Sizable wallet.
You would also find a bag of holding,
I'll take that.
and a dagger. And then on the Goliath arms, you would see a signet ring.
Okay. And just at a glance, these arms look like more like corpse parts.
Correct.
Got it.
You can
Okay.
see where the bones, like the arm bones, were. They have been removed, but the muscle is still there. So these arms look kind of weirdly deflated.
Sure. They're limp, but they're still
Yeah.
meaty.
Yes, correct.
So they're noodles.
Yeah. Big meat noodles.
Some
Muscular
udon.
noodles.
Someone deboned the arms. By the looks of it. And yeah, I think that's what you would find on him. And as you're kind of looting through, he would be laughing and saying, if you want to try and take me down, they are going to come after you in droves.
You fucked with the wrong people, guy. I'll just
We'll think about that.
I'll just kind of pat him on the side of the face, or whatever I think his face is. Make your peace. You got 6 seconds.
It took you this long to find me. You're never gonna find any of my compatriots.
Dan's ignoring him at this point.
I'm gonna say Bruno's just over here holding the bag of devouring.
What's the bag saying?
He's hungry.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
What's that? Can I eat it? Huh?
Yes.
Huh? Can I?
The only thing
please,
he ever
please,
says.
Please, please.
You can indeed.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! So yeah, next up is Rosie.
I will hold my action, so if something goes wrong, and I will attack him if he does not go in the bag of devouring.
Okay, good call.
And then Gary, what are you doing?
Similarly, just kind of holding my bow ready as an action.
AAA, more of the same?
Sure.
All right. There's not exactly much to do right now. You guys knocked him out pretty good. Bruno, you're up.
I scamper on over and scoop him up.
Orb.
And he is trying. It feels like he's trying to resist, but he's buckling over, laughing, and it doesn't take too long for you to get the bag through him. Since he's mostly goop, it's actually fairly easy. And the bag, you just kind of hear slurping from inside the bag.
It's like soup.
Like chewy soup. It's like Jello and soup at the same time.
Ooh.
Nuts and gum.
What's it taste like?
Nuts and gum.
Bad.
Bad.
I could have told you that.
Okay.
And yeah, we are out of combat now. The ooze man has been eaten.
Nummy,
At the
nummy,
start-
nummy.
At the start of his turn, he is devoured and his body is destroyed.
Which happens after, let's see, after
Rez, technically.
Rez.
He would
After
have one
Rez.
turn, technically, but yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And this took all the span of like 12 seconds. So by the time the guards are even like, hey, wait a minute, and he's gone.
All right.
What did you do to him?
Will
One
be
of the guards
taken.
comes running over.
Got taken care of.
What do you mean you got it taken care of? You just got rid of him.
Yeah, he was an
We
intruder.
bagged him, and now we're going to go take him and interrogate him. So if you'll excuse us,
Give me a
we'll be on our
deception.
way.
David's like, I need an in.
That was a lie.
Dan has deception. That's going to be a big fat 19.
19. Yeah, this guy buys it. Like, he kind of briefly side-eyes you, but then he's like, all right, you ain't welcome in the VIP anymore. You gotta head on down.
Oh no.
What a shame.
I'm gonna grab a
There's
peach
nothing
ring
in
and, like,
food I
get on
won't
your
be able to
orders.
eat.
Are there still peach rings?
Oh yeah.
How many did she buy?
A lot. You find out Rosie loves peach rings.
Rosie's like, I'm gonna need them.
She's been very
It's the
stressed
one
out
bit of
lately.
joy she has.
Yes, it is.
Peach rings.
Peach rings.
Sweet. So I guess we leave.
As we're walking out, Rez is just gonna put an arm on Dan and just say like, hope you're ready to navigate us through this one.
Are you gonna put the Goliath arm over, Dan? Put an arm over.
Sorry, I meant just like put a hand on his shoulder for a second as she walks by, but
The Goliath hand.
no. She accidentally stepped on the Goliath hand and squished.
Also, when we leave this establishment, Rosie's like, we're not going back to my place. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. It's gotten trashed once. It's not getting trashed again. I would like a home. So no.
That's fair.
We find new place to hang out at. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where we could maybe find ourselves a little
Safe
hangout,
house?
little safe house.
Pretty sure my last contact isn't going to talk to me.
Well, I mean, our own thing.
I don't quite trust my contact.
What? Because he's a vampire?
Yeah. Do you want to know what? Do you want them to know where we sleep?
Oh, fuck no. Well, I mean, I don't care, but I'm sure you don't.
Also, I would like to say, can we please not associate with vampires anymore, por favor? Because some of us have blood.
Hey, me and AAA will handle the vampire shit.
Do you know how quickly this is going to backfire on us?
Why don't the two of us that don't have blood go talk to them then?
Exactly. Like, AAA and I can go talk to them, no problem.
I want nothing to do with this.
That's fine. You don't have to. Look.
Yes, I do, because I am directly involved with y'all's group. This little group here, so are you.
Listen,
and then,
we do our work the same way we've always done, and then after the jobs are done, AAA and I will take our excess body count and make some extra cash with it.
No.
Maybe a new bag of holding.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
what all did we just get?
I don't think we should open that here, but...
Oh, right. Yeah, there might be something in the bag of holding.
Yeah, God knows what's in the bag. I assume more body parts, but...
Wait, no, this isn't a vampire, though, right?
No, this was a plasmoid man.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know why.
He's probably got more body parts in the bag. But
why would he? Oh, I see. He uses them as a... Okay.
Disguise.
Could I look at the papers, glance at them as we're walking?
Yeah,
they're a couple
folded
papers
up, they're folded up into a square.
They're what? Sorry?
They're folded up into a square, each of them.
Oh, I mean, I'll take them if Dan will let me look at them.
Yeah, that's fine. I
just want to see what these say. Because presumably they're somewhat important if he kept them on him.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'll probably be reading one of them with you, so we can trade as we walk back to the elevator.
Can I look at the dagger?
Sure.
Okay. So first we'll do the papers. Looking over the papers, just opening them up, they are detailing personalities. The first one is detailing tiny human head, human arms, speaks in a high-pitched voice, mainly used around Twilight Bell Tower. You see the next one, Arnath, which is using the Goliath head and the Goliath arms, used as muscle at the name you would recognize as a bar. Looks like he's a bodyguard when he's in that disguise. And then you see Nasir, which is an elf, which has an elf head and an elf arms, or more subtle work when he needs to be secretive. Looks like he's got 3 different identities that he was using.
Not anymore.
And you also see at the very bottom, your name is Gorlith.
Gorlith.
I'm
Gorlith. Just confused.
I'm me.
So the plasmoid's name was Gorlith.
That is alien as fuck.
And you would also know that the tavern that was mentioned is the Deranged City Tavern.
Deranged City Tavern?
Yes.
Ranged or deranged?
Deranged. Like you're not right in the head, deranged.
That's what I thought.
Mentioned in what context, this tavern was?
That's
This
the
is where
bodyguard.
he was a bodyguard with the Goliath head and arms.
Okay.
And you would not recognize the name of... you would recognize that it's a tavern, but you do not know which district it is in. You would know that it is not in the Ventura district.
Deranged
City.
City Tavern.
Probably in the deranged city.
There's only one city.
Office for
That's the collective information on both the sheets of paper.
Yeah, it's basically detailing like his identities
Got it.
and places he's been.
Okay.
What time is it? Is it nighttime?
I think it was evening when we got here.
Yeah. So you guys weren't here super long, but by the time you get up there, it's dark out. I'd say it's like 8 p.m.
We really weren't here long at all.
No.
We went to the fucking candy shop. We came down here. Like we were here for maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, you guys
Less
weren't here
than
long.
that, probably.
We fucking get shit done.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Turns out bag of devouring is a really good item. Who knew?
Turns out incapacitating people and throw them into a bag. Really good idea.
Nom, nom, nom.
David's over here like, wow, I really got it.
David's like, all right, legendary resistances going forward.
Yep. Pretty much.
It is what it is.
Did we have a? We didn't even get a fucking like a room anywhere, did we?
No, we
No,
literally just pulled
literally-
up in the truck and came
Yeah,
in
we
here.
drove across town. Yeah, pulled up and just. Okay,
Fucking
so
ransack.
I'll vote. Let's find somewhere to stay for the night.
Rosie's gonna go somewhere else. She's gonna go do some stress relief. Go dancing and drinking.
All right.
I'll go with you, just so that we're not having one person alone for Dark Elf Syndicate to come pick up.
I'll be fine.
I mean, how would they even know it would be Rosie that dealt with?
I mean, we did it in a room full of witnesses.
Shouldn't the first thing we do be identify some of this stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Like in
I
the
think
truck?
that's probably fair.
All right,
Emptied
well,
into the bed.
Rosie.
Rosie needs a break.
All right, fine. Truck. Okay, we'll ritual cast detect magic. Is there any magic in the loot?
Okay. So you would see the dagger is a +1 dagger.
Huh?
When
20
you
minutes
live.
later.
What's up?
I said 20 minutes later. It's like, this is a +1.
Great.
Fantastic. Okay. And then the ring is a ring of sending.
Well, that's not
Is that-
good.
Does that work like a sending stone, or is that just a once a day cast sending?
And as you're puzzling this and looking it over, as you're kind of looking it over in your hands, you hear a voice suddenly spring into your head. Hey, Tiny, you get done yet already?
Yeah, man. Sorry.
Yeah, Dan's not gonna answer, I don't think.
Tiny. All right, you must be busy. I'll get to you another time. You got to report in every 24 hours. Hope you're hearing this. Then that's it.
I miss you.
I love you and I miss you. Ooh.
Would we know if that was all one sending or multiple sendings?
That was all one set.
Okay. So it seems like it's a sending stone on a ring, effectively. So that's
Probably.
interesting.
Technology these days.
They
Everything's just
compressed a
getting smaller.
stone into a ring.
Everything's
Mhm.
just getting smaller and smaller. Okay. So the signet ring is a ascending +1 dagger. Bag of holding, obviously magical, so I'll probably advocate that we maybe like stand outside the truck when we turn it inside out and just like empty it into the trunk
Bed.
just
The
in case
bed.
there's anything treacherous inside.
So emptying it out onto the truck bed, you see 2 human arms plop out, and then a elven head and 2 elven arms flop out as well.
That's it.
That is it.
Simple enough.
Nom
Okay.
nom nom.
Sure, might as well feed it to the bag.
Yeah.
And nom 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 nom.
Get rid of the evidence.
Oh boy, I usually don't get to eat twice in a day.
Maybe we keep the heads. We could probably find someone who could talk to them.
What is worth
Talk.
is there is only 1 head right now. This is the elven head.
But we also have
Oh,
the
yeah, 'cause
Goliath
the
head
human-
and the Dan head.
You do have the Dan head as well.
Yeah, and I would assume that we took the Goliath shit with us.
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
Yeah,
What would happen if we can't speak with Dead on the Dan head?
that's exactly what I'm wondering.
Oh, that's weird. Will your soul be shunted into the head?
Well, the soul doesn't go
It's
anywhere.
never
Well-
your soul. It's the body just being like
Hang on.
barely reanimated enough to answer
It's-
questions.
But it's not Dan's head, right? It's just his face.
Nope,
No, it's
it
his
is
head.
Dan's. It's
the
his whole head from the neck on up.
Oh,
I thought I was selling just my face, but
that's what I
To
thought
just-
as well.
Now that everybody knows and the boss is defeated, it was basically a plasmoid taking body parts and more or less puppeteering them.
yeah.
Right.
He was weekend at burning them.
Sure.
But I would be very curious to talk to the heads if we can find someone that can do that. Baldur's Gate has got Speak with Dead on the mind.
Yeah. I know. Same here.
Fucking amulet. Hey, you want to talk to every corpse you create over the course of your game?
No.
Well, seeing as there's no other magic and nothing too terribly dangerous here, I guess. Yeah, we'll feed the limbs, and then I'll divvy up the gold. Everybody gets 100 and whatever a sixth of 100 is.
Doesn't divide. No.
17 point something?
Yeah.
116.66666, whatever.
So someone gets a coin.
Somebody gets a copper, an extra copper.
You said 116?
116
Extra copper.
gold, 6 silver, 6 copper. Somebody is getting
Oh. Or we could just make it so one person gets an extra gold. It doesn't really matter.
And yes, for what it's worth, there is also a breastplate.
Is it magical?
It is not magical.
I don't think. Oh, actually, Rosie wears medium armor, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so free breastplate.
I'm not technically here right now.
Rosie.
Where'd she go?
You just show up with a ooze dripping breastplate. Rosie, I got you this.
We could follow the trail of peach rings to find her.
Like little sugar on it.
Just a trail of powder.
Yeah, powdered sugar.
Dude, that does sound good right now, though.
Peach rings are great.
Hey, David.
Yes.
Could you do me a favor and turn off the stream?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, that.
Actually, don't technically need to stream anymore. We'll close it out for the meanwhile.
Very much so. Maybe.
Overheating your computer?
Yeah, it looks
You ever
like it.
get that cooling solution yet? Out of curiosity.
I think I need to reset Discord.
I don't think she heard you.
Well, let's actually just take a break. Plette, if you can tell Chani, we'll just take a break here because this is about break time, anyways.
Completely froze.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And
Be back
be
10 minutes,
by
so 10:26.
6.
All right.
Right.
Switching to break.
Cool.
All right.
Yep.
Ready,
All right,
set,
back.
stream.
All right. So we are back. You guys have all headed to a hotel, except for Rosie. By the way, guys, the hotel was 5 silver a night per person.
Okie dokie.
And then Rosie, you said you wanted to go party and dance and get drunk, from what it sounded like.
Oh yes.
All right.
You guys have not given Rosie time to
De-stress.
full period. Yes.
So I would say, as you're kind of dancing, you eventually head back to table to just kind of sit and rest for a little bit, get a few more drinks in. You see a familiar form pretty much sit down right across from you at the table, and he says, well, if it's Rosie, I haven't seen you in quite a while. How you been? You would recognize this as Lucan.
Oh shit! What's up, buddy?
Rosie has friends?
I do.
That's the biggest plot twist so far.
Friend.
My Texas.
He's going to the database.
I think she'll be like, it's been better. It's great. It's going great. And she'll just just chug her drink.
That's really good. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, and I can see you're getting out a bit more. That's pretty good to see. And yeah,
She loved the stare. She was being really sarcastic.
Is Bean with you?
Yes. Bean is just like sitting on the sidelines, and then at the table, I imagine Bean trots up and sits down next to her.
you've got quite an invention with you.
Oh, you remember Bean? Bean was murdered. This is now new Bean.
Oh my goodness! You said he was murdered? Who killed him?
Nobody. Nobody at all. She's like,
No one just gets murdered by no one.
It's okay. It's something I probably shouldn't talk about. It's fine.
They're dead
And-
now.
He kind of
Now.
he kind of scoots up his chair and kind of leans in towards you. Wasn't anybody doing something illegal, is it? I mean, clearly murdering a cat, that's already pretty bad, but I think I might be
terrible.
able
I can think of no worse crime.
I might be able to, report him in, get a. Oh, I should apologize. I haven't told you yet. I have given up adventuring for a little bit. Just a little break. I am now a lawbringer. You can believe it.
Oh, lovely. She's like, I need another drink.
Extra peach rings.
That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah. It's nothing. It's all taken care of. Don't you worry about it.
Well, very well. Well, I should tell you. If you do see anything out of the ordinary, please definitely let me know. I should tell you. Well, I shouldn't tell you this, but crowd is loud enough. I don't think anybody will remember it. It's a little late in the night. I've been working on a case.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay.
I think I'm starting to get close.
What's the case about?
It's about a series of robberies and some arson. And I believe the main man we're looking for, he pulls out a kind of rolled up piece of paper, and he quickly unrolls and splats it down. it's Bruno's face. I think I found the ringleader. You see, it all started with a little laundry shop that that burnt down mysteriously.
Hey, whoa.
Bruno.
See, we suspected some devil mafia was up to something with this, but couldn't quite pin it on them. So we started looking at more kind of sporadic crimes that we had been seeing, and then we saw Dascorn had gotten burned to the ground. Okay, well, we don't know everybody who was in there, but we do know that there was a goblin handling the body of the deceased owner. Seems pretty likely that it might be him. So then from that point, we went on and found some other shops had gotten robbed, and one of the policemen that had gotten shot and gotten revived, he was chasing after a goblin. It was a blue goblin.
Rosie, when she says that, she's like, oh God. She's trying not to panic.
Rosie just has a smile on her face and has completely disassociated. She's just like not here anymore.
Yeah.
She's just like, goes the waiter, leave the bottle.
Yeah. Can I get just the bottle?
Wow.
That's so interesting.
I must be doing
A goblin?
That is
A goblin
nuts.
committed
I have
crimes?
to go.
We see, that's the interesting thing. You know, typical goblin crimes are usually done in groups, and we haven't seen reports of groups of goblins. We've seen a single goblin. We must think, well, at first our thoughts were he couldn't be the mastermind. You know, it's a goblin after all. We thought there must be someone else. And then we came across this man's face, and he unrolls another pamphlet, and it's Dan's humanoid face. See,
Because you know
this...
AAA lost internet.
Oh, one moment.
Rosie's having a really bad time right now.
Rosie's having kittens.
Yeah. She was going to stress relief, and now she's just spiked to a whole new level.
There's
Will she
clarity.
ever get...
I
what?
didn't burn down the fucking.
Oh, I know.
Inside
Okay.
check. That would be a great plot twist, actually.
4. Are you lying?
Oh my God.
I don't even know if I'm lying.
That's twice what I rolled.
I feel like she'd be like, you should go back to adventuring. Yeah.
This is boring.
This
Yeah.
sounds
One
crazy.
This sounds
You guys
so
are barking up the
far-fetched.
wrong tree.
Oh my God, no, I'm gonna use some logic because she's smart. She's like, does this really make sense to y'all? And then she's like, do. Of all the
A
flaws,
goblin.
Can you hear us, AAA?
goblin.
Phoebe, no. What are you doing? Hey.
Really just said, fuck your shit.
AAA, can you hear us?
Go back.
He's back.
He's
Alrighty.
back.
Welcome back. Okay, so he unrolls another piece of paper, sets it down. It's Dan's human face. We think this may be one of the masterminds. They might be working together. We've been seeing this man's face reported around this area, which is one of the reasons I'm here, by the way. And to add on to that, we looked a little bit into this man's past. He's worked at quite a few places around this area. We can't pin down exactly where he worked. All the papers that we look for, they just lead dry. We can't really find exactly where he's been from. But we can kind of pinpoint he's been around this area. We don't know where he is right now. He could be in the Ambia district right now for all we know. But him and the goblin must be working together, and it must be more than 2 because they are doing a lot of work for just 2 people.
Maybe they're just that good.
Gary. The mastermind. What happened?
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit.
Oh,
So
God.
did he like finish his little spiel? Or is he,
Well,
is he
to
still
kind of summarize, we were estimating that that to do what they've been doing would probably take a group of at least 5 to 7 people, and we haven't quite been able to narrow down any groups yet. But it's been very interesting. The most recent one that was the big one, I'm sure you heard about it when Tomasetti's tinctures got robbed. Can you believe it's that warehouse?
That's crazy. There's no way someone pulled that off.
What, you didn't hear about that? It was all over the news.
You know, I like to keep to myself and be indoors a lot.
I mean, still, I at least read the news every day. But anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I feel that they are around this area right now, and I'm trying to track down any of these members. Have you seen anything that fit these descriptions?
She just shakes her head, takes a sip of drink. Nope. Never.
Deception.
Oh, no.
You're lucky, don't forget.
Okay, I'm using lucky.
Use inspiration if you need to.
Inspiration. Fucking. You better stack this shit.
Can I
Whole
use
party
it?
has
Inspiration is not
inspiration.
going to do anything. It only gives you advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
But it does stack with lucky, doesn't it? Because lucky's a reroll.
That's true.
Oh, is Lucky a reroll?
I believe so.
Cool, I'm gonna use inspiration because I rolled a 7 and a 5. So, and I have a -1 to deception.
Ooh,
Perfect.
noted.
You're not talking to anybody.
You can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. Yeah, it's separate from advantage.
Okay.
So can I use another lucky to re-roll my advantage roll?
Well, yeah, no, your advantage makes you roll 2, and then you get the highest, and lucky gives you an additional 20.
Yeah. You can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20.
After you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined,
You
you
can
use multiple luck points. Jeremy Crawford answered this in sage advice. You can't use multiple luck points from the lucky feat on the same roll.
Okay.
Oh,
So
All right,
use
so
it once.
3 is the highest number of dice rolled. What'd you get?
6.
Jesus Christ.
It was meant to be, guys.
I mean, it'll make things interesting.
We gotta kill
That's
him.
for sure.
Oh god.
You saw your
Not
cat,
if Rosie
right?
doesn't tell us about this conversation.
It's true. It's all on Rosie.
And she will definitely get
And
a reply to us.
he just kind of lowers his head and looks at you. He's like, Rosie, in the time I've known you, I've come to find that you are a terrible liar. You know that, right?
I'm a great liar. I mean, I'm not lying.
Staying in character. Great.
Fuck.
Now, please, I'm asking as a friend, if you have any kind of clues on these whereabouts of either of these affiliates, this would be really helpful.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Just run. Just run.
Tell Bean to attack.
Bean, underlay!
Get him.
Can I say that I took one of the Dark Elf Syndicate cards?
That's fine.
Cool.
He had multiple.
I'll say like I saw, I guess, a goblin, and he dropped this card, but it was a couple days ago, like a day ago, and I found this card, but I didn't realize it was like a big thing. And she'll slide him the little Dark Elf Syndicate card.
Give me a deception with advantage because that was a pretty good lie for Rosie.
Okay.
A good lie for Rosie.
Yeah, exactly. It was better than nope, I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen shit.
Okay. I rolled a 15. Wait, let me use a lucky. Let me just use a lucky.
Oh, this is gonna go bad.
Well, you
Well,
still
I-
use the highest one.
I
don't
still
you?
use
Oh,
the
you still
highest,
use the high. Okay.
Yeah. So I rolled a 16. 15.
So stick to 15.
Stick with 15.
He looks at you briefly, but he seems like he's about to say something, but then he looks down at this card and picks it up. Elf Syndicate, you said he gave this to you?
No, I saw him drop it and I was gonna give it back to him. And then he walked away. He just freaking disappeared.
Fucking goblins, man.
Nobody's been trailing you recently, have they?
No, I don't think so.
Good. Dark Elf Syndicate is a group you don't want to mess with. They're trying to upend the power of the main three around here. We've had some intel that the Orcish Mafia isn't doing well monetarily, and Dark Elf Syndicate is trying to use that as leverage to push them out. So they are one of the bigger up-and-comers, so you really don't want to run along them.
Great. Great to know.
I'm glad that you haven't seen anyone tailing you. But
God
he
damn it.
he briefly looks at the clock. Oh, I have to be up at work at 2 in the morning. I'm going to have to call it early. But thank you for this info. This might be helpful. He kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, we'll have to catch up again sometime, shall we?
Sounds great. You know where I live.
Still in that big apartment complex, huh?
Yup. The one and only.
I'd have to stop by sometime. Be good to catch up. Over some tea or something.
Sounds great.
Oh, I won't keep you anymore. He flips a golden eagle onto the table and hails a bartender. Bartender, something strong for the lady here.
Thank
She
you.
looks like she needs it.
I do. I'm stressed.
And he walks out. Yeah, shortly after the bartender brings you a strong drink and pockets the gold.
She chugs that shit. She just fucking picks it up, downs it, slams the glass, bring another one.
I'm glad Rosie
just
got her
wine.
relaxing evening.
Does Bean cut you off at some point?
What are you talking about? Bean is the designated driver.
Oh, right. You use Bean as a way to walk home after a drunk night.
Oh, I am 100%. Rosie's gonna be
leaning on him.
trash.
Miss, you seem to be leaning on your Bean.
I am.
All right. Well, the night passes by more or less successfully for the rest of you guys. Rosie, how much longer are you going to drink till you head back?
Oh, she's gonna drink. Like, she's gonna be like, Bean, take me to the people. That's how drunk she's gonna be.
You can see Bean roll his mechanical eyes as he just bumps you on the hip and you just fall over on top of him. And just starts
Alright.
walking slowly.
So I guess when I get there, I'm gonna start. I'll probably bang on the wrong door the first time.
Good gods, who is this at the hour?
Rosie, we're down here.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. sorry.
You better be. You just interrupted our wedding night. And he
Oh, I'm
closes the
sorry.
door on you.
Okay, bye.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Hope you have a good lay.
Oh, God.
Does anybody hear Rosie?
Yes. Many.
Okay, cool.
Say, I'm pretty sure the ones that don't have to sleep probably heard you.
Yeah.
Cool. So then Rosie's just stumbling over to the rooms. Knock, knock. Is this the one? No. Sorry. Until she eventually makes it. Yeah.
Yeah. You eventually find the room that they are all in.
Hi guys. How are you doing?
It's just like
Does she arrive?
limping a chair in the corner.
I'm probably being
You
really
guys only
loud.
need like 4 hours, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So yeah, you're probably awake by the time she gets back.
Yeah, probably actually. I'm just.
Bruno's
Doing bad? Cool. Sorry, I'm just gonna go to bed. I had a terrible night.
You alright?
No!
What happened?
They know your face! They know your face! And she's pointing at Bruno. She's
Who's
pointing
they?
the police. They know you're in the area and they're looking for you, and we're all gonna get caught.
I knock on the wall to see how thin it is.
My face? Or
This, she
My
like
face.
grabs your face and she's like, this face.
the corpse head?
No, your face.
She.
Oh, is it the humanoid face?
I thought
It
that
was
was
the
the
humanoid
human
face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Dave's like, wait, how do they know my face? They know
Okay,
my
never mind.
face, or do they know my face?
okay. She's like, that one. The creepy one.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll put it back in the bag.
We're all gonna get caught. We're all gonna die. We're just
Oh,
gonna
boy.
lay on the ground.
Bruno just has to stop disguising himself as goblins. Easy peasy. He's something else now.
Well, Rosie just-
Hobgoblin. Fuck it.
Very
well,
short.
they're in
They'll never suspect a hobgoblin being the same guy.
they're in the area looking for us, and then she's just gonna crawl into the most comfy place she can find.
How do you know this?
This is my friend Lucan. Apparently doesn't want to be a dumb adventurer anymore. And now he's like, I'm going to be a police officer. And then he was just telling me about it all. And I'm over here like, ha ha ha, I'm totally not part of any of this. Ah. Great.
Your friend Lucan?
Yeah. The one that AAA looked like for like one day, one
Oh
night.
yeah.
That guy's a cop?
She's just like, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Shit.
My one friend is a cop, and I'm doing crime. This is great.
He's investigating us.
And then,
You weren't disguised or anything while you were out drinking, were you?
well, did he comment on her brown hair? Because she technically has brown hair and blue eyes right now.
I mean, sure, but you had brown hair and blue eyes at the bell tower too, didn't you?
Yeah. But Lucan would have recognized her with red hair and green eyes. And fronts.
It's true. He would have recognized you by the red hair, but he did not mention the hair color.
Was Bean with you?
Yellow?
You saw Bean?
Yellow?
Uh-huh.
And what's your connection with this guy?
He's my friend.
Lovers.
Bruno must be having some weird dreams.
You guys would love us.
Nope. If you said hello, she's like, no.
You guys super close?
DM, how close are we?
You're the character, right?
I know. I just wrote a really wildly small backstory. Because I had it like they just like hung out pretty frequently and come over for dinner and stuff like that. So
Oh, so he was trying to bang you.
I see.
DM clarification.
Did I get the banging vibes?
Yeah, did I get banging vibes? How long were we doing this?
I would say it wouldn't have started out like that. You guys did start out as friends, but as friendship progressed, you have noticed those vibes a little bit.
Rosie has
But
not.
it still seems more on the side of good friend that also wouldn't mind being friends with him.
Okay. Well, so then now, never. He wouldn't do that.
Sure. So,
What was that supposed to be?
nothing. So he saw Bean.
Yes, he saw my beam.
There it is.
No one was gonna say that.
I
There it
know,
is.
but I had the opportunity. I had to take it.
I was fishing for it.
Bruno wakes up at that point. Yeah, I bet you he did.
What does that mean?
Dale probably just shoot Rez a look like we gotta kill him.
Do you say that, or you just give me the look of
No,
we have
I
to
just
kill
give
him?
her the look like we're gonna have to kill this motherfucker.
What's that?
I'll
What's
just
that?
nod.
What did you do? No. She's shaking her head. No.
He didn't say anything. We
I
just
know,
shared a
but she
glance.
knows you two. You two like to murder people.
No.
I just like
Says the
slowly
person
pull out
with the
the
highest
bag.
body count.
No murder, friend. Thank you.
He saw Bean though,
Red dot
and we were seen with Bean at the Twilight Bell Tower, where we got this. And I hold up the head again.
Ugh, put it away.
He's gonna connect dots if he ever makes the bell tower connection.
That's why I gave him the Elf Syndicate card. So he thinks it's this Elf Syndicate doing stuff.
Dan can't emote. He's just a robot face, but
Do the eyebrows move?
the eyes are quivering.
Doesn't he have eyebrows?
No.
Oh.
It's just a single tear.
It just straight off the eye. So, yeah, Rosie, that's a time bomb. You may have extended the timer for a bit, but
Oh,
Not
no,
long
the
enough.
timer's going off.
time's up. Gotta kill him.
Let's go, boys.
Down the door.
Everybody, wake up! We're gonna go kill
Wait,
time.
was that a perfectly timed joke or what?
That was.
Super intentional? Also, I need to medicate my cat in a second. But yeah, Dan will just put forward that he saw you in the company of your mechanical cat, which was seen in the company of a goblin and this face, which he is looking for, and that's bad.
But technically, you don't have that face. So it's only Goblin, and we've been dealing with that already.
But people saw all three of those things together at the bell tower.
For what it's worth, killing Lucan doesn't actually solve anything, Dan. If anything, it just tells the cops that he was on the right track.
Yeah, it draws more attention.
Thank you, Rez.
As much as I love to kill.
So we just need to bring him into the ring.
If we
Sounds like it's a
implicate
little-
him,
I'm gonna
if we
wager it's a little
implicate
on
him in one of our crimes,
If we implicate him into, because kind of like how we implicated you initially.
We'll just sit next to him in a Waffle
I'm
House.
having a terrible time.
we'll just pull him into our booth at a diner,
Hey, how would you go about this crime?
Shanghai him into another crime.
I won't help with this. I refuse.
Rez does make a valid point.
That killing him won't solve anything.
which is a very strange point for me to make.
That
Hey, Rez,
will-
you're all about it.
It'll point out. Sure, he's on the right track. Okay. Still, the point stands. He will be able to make the connection between the goblin, the head, and you. And your
No,
cat.
not me.
There were a lot of witnesses, and we only killed one guy there. He's gonna know eventually.
But that's a cop having to get into the bell tower. Pew pew pew.
He's in the neighborhood already.
Don't orc mafia people not want that to happen?
I'm sure they don't, but I mean,
Wait, why are you so convinced Lucan's going to the bell tower?
he's looking for Tiny,
He's looking for the.
and Tiny, according to these papers, was the identity that Gilgamesh, whatever, used pretty much exclusively at the bell tower.
That's
On the
true.
card, did it say like tiny? What did the card specifically
Did it have his
say?
first name, his last name, and his address?
The business card was just Dark Elf Syndicate, right?
Yeah, that's what I gave them.
Yeah, but the papers that we got off of Tiny had his identities on them and where he used them.
The bedroom.
Window.
Yeah.
So, if anybody can connect Tiny to the bell tower, he will
Well.
find out.
He's gonna figure it out eventually.
I mean, aren't we like 3 days away from this part of town? Like, we're kind of far out from this. We're way outside of our normal operating zone.
Honestly, I think the bigger people at risk here are Dan's family.
Oh, that's fair.
Now it's tied to Dan.
Mm.
Well, it's tied to the guy that was using my face, but
But
yeah,
does he
that's-
know?
They could track down Leon.
I mean, if they
Maybe
know
we
about
should put
Dustcorn,
your-
they can likely track down employment records, documents.
I mean,
We
I was
could.
very careful to keep my family out of all my documentation, but
Wait, doesn't it still have like the residue in the inside? Sorry. Doesn't it have the residue goop in there?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Can we just like plant your head like somewhere and leave like an anonymous tip to the police? Because then it'll have the goop on it that's obviously not you, so it'll be like, this guy's probably dead. Someone was using his head, and leaves your family out of it mostly.
Man, you think really good when you're drunk.
Yeah, thank you. 20 intelligence does that.
It breaks down the social barriers.
Yes. I might not be able to socialize, but I am smart.
not a bad point. Although I did want to try talking to it.
Well, you can talk to it, and we can plan it, and then your family will be safe, and then we get rid of that nasty thing. It's gross. No offense.
I mean, I think we definitely need to get Leon like vanished because he's tied to Tiny. And if anybody asks, if he gets to the point where he can ask Tiny's associates, "Hey, who was he last seen with?" Leon's gonna come up.
Leon's terrible because he's always drunk, and he just that.
All right, a little too much information. Just kidding.
What?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, Kettle.
Leave Rosie alone.
He's a liability for sure.
No offense, your brother just.
I like Rosie's plant the evidence plan.
Yeah, I think that'll buy us some time.
I'm more worried about the Dark Elf Syndicate at this point.
See, that was us drinking to forget about, but here we are. Yay. Oh, also, apparently the Orc Mafia is like probably gonna fall, and then the Elf Syndicate's gonna take over.
Really?
That's
Well,
what they
we
think
make
about
sure that doesn't happen.
We do have connections with the Orc Mafia.
I mean, we don't anymore.
Yeah, they love us.
Yeah, they kind
Well.
of cut ties.
Well, you can contact Vinny, right?
He told me to fuck off.
If I mean, I won't lie. I'm not exactly a huge fan of the Orc Mafia these days, so I'm not super inclined to want to help them.
But the Elf Syndicate is gonna wanna kill us.
They're gonna want to kill us.
The Mafia doesn't, the Orc ones.
I had a personal vendetta with their guy. I think if we can put forward a significant enough show of force, they may think twice about fucking with us. But
That was your plan last time.
but this
And
is a
then
smaller
they shot
mob.
up our safe house and nearly
This is a
killed all
smaller
of us.
mob. They'll only have 4 gunmen this time and no robot.
And we're much stronger
This is a small
this time.
mob who is on the cusp of usurping the Orc Mafia, right?
So they're not as good yet.
I could always ask my dad if there's ways to get the. Never mind.
Didn't we get shot up the last time you talked to your dad with the safe house?
That was
Mhm.
unrelated.
Or how did they get the information where we were staying? That's what I was curious about.
I don't
Someone
know
had
if
a
we
spider
ever
on
figured
them, I
that
thought.
out. Yeah, they must have just been spying on us.
Well, I mean, what some of us found trackers on ourselves, right?
Yeah, Dan had a spider on his
yeah.
head.
Yeah. Dan, you gotta check your crevices, man.
I'm working on that shit, all right? Just give me another fucking 5 days. I'll have the spell done.
Everyone should finish sleeping, especially Rosie.
Hey,
He hasn't even started sleeping.
She's like on car.
Because that's not comfort.
Dan's just like sprawled out on the bed, even though he can't feel it.
Dan was slumped in the corner. He was out of the bed.
Rosie's like, you talk too much, and she's gonna crawl into the bed.
Sure.
I'm gonna get the rest of my sleep too.
Well,
You guys want to go to sleep and talk it all over in the morning?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
walk in the car.
Wait, but if we're gonna plant the head, shouldn't we do that in this area?
Yeah, I mean, we can do it in the morning.
Don't you want to do
Leave.
the speak
The
with it?
morning thing.
I mean, I don't know that spell. I was going to try and track somebody down who did, but
This
really more
might be
Wouldn't
Wouldn't
more
that
pressing.
draw a lot of attention? Like if we found someone that's like, hey, I'm a speak for dead with for hire kind of person, and then you bring up a person that's currently being investigated.
well, that's why we don't go to a fucking cop speak with dead, or we go to like a.
But people will pay for information, and then they'll
Crime.
have information about a guy that's being looked for, so then they get money. And
All right, so then we kill the guy when we're done with him.
oh my God! Stop killing people! You so murdery. Calm
Rosie's
down.
still drunk.
It's
It's
still
already
drunk. It's the
morning.
morning.
Oh, it's the morning. Oh, okay. Sorry. We're still-
She's
It
hungover.
started early.
Killing people is the easiest way out.
I mean,
It's
if we have
not-
the bag, they got nothing to work with.
Stop being so murdery. Goddamn.
What if we kill them? We make money from the vampires.
Oh,
true.
that's
we can
true,
feed them
yeah.
to vampires, and the
I
vampires.
got the new bag of holding.
True.
The bag of body holding.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to the bag of holding.
I thought we'd just plant the head. I don't care whether you can talk to it or not.
I agree.
Rosie's like, yes, rest.
Like I said, yeah, I was curious, but yeah, let's plan it.
I mean, it is strange what you think what like possibly could happen if you spoke with your dead head. But yeah, it's
I
probably
don't
better
know.
to.
Even if someone could, it would only know up to when he got it removed.
It's a magical mystery.
But isn't
That we'll
your
have to wait for another
brain
day.
in here?
Yeah.
but his mouth is there.
Wop, 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 wop.
Rosie looks disgusted.
We'll unpack that
She's
later.
Are we gonna find his body parts all over the place?
The quest: find all of Dan's body parts.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, let's scatter the other arms like around town. The other.
Does he
15
have
arms.
your other body?
Oh, we got rid of them.
You fed them to the bag.
That's right.
Yeah, why don't we just put the head in the bag? Is that kind of weird for you, Dan?
Well, no, we
I
need
thought
the,
we're gonna plant it.
Yeah, we need
we're
to
gonna
plant
plant
it.
the head.
Oh,
to put it
right,
off Water
right.
Trail. So
We need to find some dirt.
I mean, it's not even planting us. We could literally just anonymously leave it in front of the fucking police station with a note.
Or like with a card
Yeah.
from a particular place.
The candy shop.
no, not the candy shop.
Dan will shove one of the Dark Elf Syndicate cards into the mouth and like tuck it under the tongue.
Are you okay? I don't feel like you should be playing with your own head this much.
Don't play
Stop.
with yourself.
Stop.
I'm Dan.
This is so
He's doing an
uncomfortable.
impression of
my
himself.
dad.
He's like hurling it over in his hands, like constantly, just like absent-mindedly, just kind of like tossing it around like a ball. Occasionally, like looks down at the neck, like, God damn, how did they get this thing off? But yeah, let's go dump it somewhere.
Where do you want to dump it?
I'd be inclined to say somewhere random, just so it doesn't
Okay,
feel intentional.
here's my idea. I
Bruno's
say we
mastermind.
give it to Rosie. She goes to the cop shop, says she needs to talk to Lucan. And go, so I, on the way home, was approached and told to give this to you.
That is a hell of a coincidence.
I love the idea. She shows up the next day. She's like, "Look, I found another clue." She just dumps a severed head on the table.
It's like
Well, the
M-rated
first
Blue's
one
Clues.
was accident, right? Was the card. And then we're going to assume, make the implication that the dark elf or whatever
Syndicate.
is watching him because he's investigating and has a loud mouth. He
What
left
if we
her.
leave it at Lucan's address? Do you know where Lucan lives?
Damn, do I know where Lucan lives?
Give me just a history check.
But-
Man, remember.
With her making the delivery, it implicates the fact that he put her in danger.
I think it heavily implies that she's being stalked by this mafia, and he's gonna be worried about that.
Yes, because of
I
him.
think that,
So he's gonna be
think
like, "We
he's
gotta
gonna-
put you under police protection or something
Oh
like that."
god, you're right.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, don't tie
We don't
Rosie
want to tie
it.
Rosie any more to this than we have to.
But I do like threatening Lucan with a severed head. That's great.
22.
I can drop it off.
Yeah, as disguised hobgoblin this time.
22. You would know. He actually is about a day out from where you live. But yes,
I
you
don't
do
know
know.
where he lives.
You do know that.
A day
Is
out
it on the
from
way home?
here, or
From where Rosie is.
oh,
From where Rosie lives.
how far
Is
of a
it on
drive is
the
it from
way?
here?
So from where you guys are right now, this is a 2-day drive from Rosie's.
So it's a day drive to Lucan's. Or is it Lucan a day in the other direction beyond Rosie?
Oh, awesome.
It is a day in a slightly opposite. Like you guys went from Rosie's basically out northeast, and he's northwest.
From Rosie.
So it'd be like 2.5 days from, or it would be like probably a day and a half.
Is it like a triangle situation?
Yeah, that would probably be the best way to describe it.
Okay. So let's drop it off at Lucan's house. Yeah.
Rosie's like, I don't know where he lives.
We could also
You just wanted to roll it.
see if he goes back to that bar on some night, and then someone stalks him and leaves it as a threat or something like that.
Oh shit, I got a good deception, guys.
Oh, shit.
I did it. My deception was 18.
14.
Rosie seems to be
She's
telling the truth.
clueless.
For some reason, I believe you.
Didn't.
For some ungodly
There's no
reason.
way she's lying about it.
She can't lie. She's obviously.
Yeah, you're right. Rosie's terrible at lying.
Uh-oh, somebody else just rolled. I heard
I
it.
just wanted to know.
Anybody else want to insight check Rosie?
21.
Oh shit.
Rez just looks at Gary. Gives him that.
Gary, something doesn't seem right. Like they seem like they were good friends to not know where. It by the description of her story on how well they knew each other, it seems odd that they didn't know.
Pretty sure she knows.
No.
She knows where.
Don't
She
tell
knows.
Dan.
You're pretty sure that she's lying.
We gotta kill him, right?
Again, that doesn't
With
solve anything.
the head.
To kill him with that.
Murder him.
He died of bludgeoning.
Are you guys like saying this in front of Rosie?
No.
This is
Okay.
out of
A
character.
meta
I
conversation.
just want some clarification.
But yeah, it's just.
So does Gary say anything to Rosie?
Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna be like, you know where he lives.
No, I don't.
See, her voice went up.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No.
I have a keen eye for liars. There's a lot of liars at the laundromat business.
It's ketchup.
They're like,
It's
there's other ways to tell that, but yes.
Oh,
Alright.
did you put voice?
Oh, that's right. Drugs. Okay.
Drugs.
Well, if we're planning to head somewhere way out of this area, then let's get moving. I don't think we have any more business right here.
Yeah, we skedaddle all to Lucan's house.
Let's all go to Lucan's house.
But I never said anything. I'm still denying.
Oh,
it,
that's
so-
true. Right.
Yeah,
can't-
it's true.
We cannot.
I'm just gonna look at you and be like, come on.
Rez,
No,
Rez,
I'm pretty
we'll-
sure
Please.
more than half of you want to kill him, and I do not
Hey,
want
we're
to.
not gonna kill him. We're not gonna kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
That's
just gonna talk to him.
As the person who pitched not killing him, you could tell me.
True. You and Rez, you guys are great friends.
We are the best friends.
Insight check. Are you making a roll? She hates. What's your deception?
Like a 4.
Okay. I
We're
rolled
best
a
friends.
16 plus 3.
I think you would
As
very,
Rez like
very
cracks her
clearly
knuckles.
glean that she does not hate you, but you're probably not the best friend. There's like a middle ground here.
This is great for David. David doesn't do anything for this.
Oh no, it's great. You can just sit back and watch everybody stir the shit.
But if I tell you where he lives, you like to murder people, and if it comes on the table, you'll know, and then you'll tell everybody else.
I mean, that's true. But also
Okay,
not,
I've literally tried to not kill people. I could drop it off.
It's true. And he's even connected, so if something goes wrong, you know.
I'll just drop it
Luke,
You'll drop
Wait,
it
what?
off.
Oh yeah, Rosie can just do it. We'll just get to
Oh.
a nearby area.
just hope he doesn't have one of those ring cameras.
You guys can go back to the Ventura district,
Okay.
and I'll go drop it off.
And no one will follow you. Got it.
Rosie runs out the door. She's like, nope.
It's like a 2-day drive, Rosie. All right.
Well, she gets
Yeah,
far enough away.
goes
she
out
can
the
get a
door.
cab. Then
takes
Pass
nobody
the
her on the
tracks her.
highway.
Does Rosie have the head?
Yes, she grabbed it out of Dan's head, shoved it in the bag, and ran out.
You
the
weren't
door.
here. You couldn't make a roll.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't have a reaction.
That's bullshit.
You had shut down for a little bit.
Fucking cat.
You had a
Alright.
glitch.
Do you want to roll?
Um,
Because I literally just said it. So
Do you feel like
I'm-
rolling, buddy?
I would like to try. Please no touching my head.
I feel that's fair.
yeah.
What am I rolling?
Rather than abusing the cat medication privilege.
I mean, it'd probably be like acrobatics or athletics, right? To like.
yeah, that sounds
resist
like
the
a
one taking
acrobatics
something.
versus.
Probably, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a strength roll.
We're two very unathletic people trying to do this.
Like, give me the head.
No!
Give me the head.
Give me it. All right.
Oh
I guess
God.
I'm rolling acrobatics
What am I rolling
or
for?
athletics. What am I doing?
Probably be
Probably-
strength for you. Right. Because normally for like a grapple, it's like strength versus or athletic or strength or
It's
acrobatics.
yeah. Someone makes a strength check versus a acrobatics or athletics.
I would vote contested strength check for this because it's funnier.
That
Mm,
that does seem
fair.
fair.
Yeah.
Fine.
What's a contested strength check?
You guys both just
roll
roll
add
strength.
strength and see who gets a higher
Yep.
number.
Okay.
Or subtract strength, sorry.
I'm gonna use lucky.
Oh, are you?
All right, she gets 3 rolls.
Yep.
No, that's only if she has advantage. She gets 3 rolls.
Yeah. You only get to use lucky once.
I rolled an 8 and a 1, but I get a +0.
I rolled a 12 minus 2.
He just barely holds on to it.
Basically, like yeah, Rosie tries to bolt out, grabbing it by the hair, but Dan's also just got a grip on it, so his arm just extends out, and he's just holding on.
So Dan's like fingers are like just locked in place, and he just like she just yanks him forward. And he like goes prone on the ground, but he's still holding onto the head. It's like Rosie, please don't do this.
Just give
She's
me
like
the head.
dragging him across the floor.
Just give me the head.
Dan, just
my
give her the
head.
head.
Don't do it alone. Take somebody with you.
No,
please.
I don't
Go back
trust any of you right now.
Who
You were
trust
all
the
doing murder
most.
stares.
Take
Okay.
AAA. AAA's been very quiet this whole time. He's impartial.
I hasn't murdered nobody.
See?
Just give me the head. I got this.
AAA, please go with her.
No.
Somebody please
No.
go with her.
Last time you did stuff on your own, you ran into a cop and blabbed.
Yeah.
I didn't
Almost
blab
blabbed.
shit. What do
You
you
almost blabbed. You felt
Could've
you felt a line.
You don't know that, sir.
Jacob knows that.
I know there's more to your story.
Okay, if you won't let me go by myself, we're just gonna drop it off somewhere around here.
And that was the original plan.
Yeah, so let's just do that. Okay.
All right.
Drop it off at the candy store.
Cool, where?
No. Just like an alley somewhere. Someone will
It's gonna
find
get
it.
eaten by rats.
Plus, honestly, if we leave it at his place, he's not at his home right now.
You don't think he commutes 1 day to work? Or 2 days to work?
Why don't we just send Bruno disguised as someone else to go stake out that bar, then we can find out where he's at. Assuming he goes
I
back
hate
there at some point.
How about I can just go figure that out. Just leave him out of this, please. You have involved me with everything. This is my one fucking thing. Please leave him out of this.
He's saying you don't want him to have the head. Is what you're really trying to say.
Yes.
But he already knows about the head. Like, I mean,
He knows the
Well,
face.
he knows about the person.
He doesn't know that Just,
Wait, so
just want to leave out of this as much as possible.
So
He
we
wants
don't.
to
So
Literally
Rosie does not want to give him the head.
investigating it. He cannot not be more.
Rosie doesn't want to give him head.
Got it. We established this.
Great.
If we just leave it somewhere in town, someone will find it. We can leave it at the mouth of an alley. Someone will pick up a severed head. That's weird, right?
I'm pretty sure
Maybe.
Fred's gonna eat it.
You know what? Fine. Do whatever you
How many
guys
severed
want.
heads have you seen?
I just
That's
don't
why I
Not
don't
that
know.
many.
I've seen that
I
one.
know. It's weird, right?
3 as of yesterday.
I'll just leave it on the ground.
Well, maybe we haven't seen any severed heads because they've been getting eaten by rats.
Gotcha there.
That's a good point, Bruno.
It's a rat's favorite food.
Severed heads.
While you guys are discussing this, she'll write down an address on a piece of paper, leave it, and then walk out of the room. And you guys can do whatever you want.
I can go deliver it.
It's just an address to a coffee shop.
That'd be great.
Just completely misdirects you.
Meanwhile, she
Interesting.
pickpocketed the head and ran off.
Okay. Who's going with Bruno?
I mean, I
Because
could
if no one else
make
is
it.
volunteering, I will go with you. Nobody should be alone doing this stuff.
True. Dan, you go with Bruno. You
Okay.
got utility.
All right. So Bruno and I are dropping head off an apartment
Sure.
Or address.
at address.
You got a house.
Again, this is like a day and a half out.
We'll have to get separate cars.
And we could probably rent a car, right?
Okay.
So now we're renting 2 cars for the month.
I only rented
And
daily.
expensive.
Not that expensive.
This rate, you guys are going to have to take on more gigs to afford these rental cars.
Or just buy a car.
Buy a flying car.
12,000 gold.
Anyway, let's go.
Okay. All right.
All right, so Dan and Bruno are going to deliver some head.
Mm-hmm.
You goddamn right.
So, Bruno and Dan, this is about a day and a half trip from where you are currently at. And then what is the rest of the group doing while they are driving? Because this is going to take some
Well,
time.
we should probably get back to our district, which means we need to
Yes.
find where Rosie went.
Find a new safe house.
I mean, I assume she'd just go back to her apartment.
Okay, it's 2 days
She shook her
away.
head yes, so. But she shook her head yes, so.
I mean, she could have like rented her own car too, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, she's got money. She's an owner.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Rosie probably would have just
I'm good,
probably
Dan.
got rented a car and driven home.
Fair enough.
And
Well,
drove
then
straight through
yeah.
in a great fuel of rage.
Yeah, how many days until the guys are supposed to reach out about the laundromat?
So that was you got. Let's see.
It burned down the
Yeah, I was
very
going to
first
say refreshing.
session.
before we
Okay.
figure that out, we are gonna get in the truck and go back to our district.
Yeah.
This is still like 2 weeks. You're only like 2 weeks in out of them,
Oh, okay.
so it's still going to be.
Rez, did I tell you about cockroaches?
No, you're sitting in the back.
Just puts Gary in the back. by
I
himself.
just put Gary and Triple in the
Okay.
back. There's an empty seat up
Triple
front.
A, have you check this out?
What's up?
Oh yeah, I got these cockroaches. It just like weaves into you.
Oh god, a bunch of cockroaches crawling around inside
I
AAA.
feel weird.
Why would I want to watch that?
That's crazy.
Whole episode, I'm so glad I'm not there to see that.
Also, did you
Like crawls out of his eye.
Probably catches on fire.
Oh yeah. The eternal burning flame in his eyes.
Mm.
Are they actually flames? I thought there's like magical like lights. Like, do your eyes produce heat? I'm gonna check. While we're in the
Light a
back seat.
cigar.
I'm gonna poke him in the eye. Do I burn my finger?
Yeah, Matt, do I burn my finger if I like put my hand close to your face?
Good question.
Doesn't seem to be doing
He
anything.
fell asleep.
No, I'm just. Ask the question one more time.
If I put my hand next to your face, are your eyes producing heat?
No, because they're
Okay.
illusionary.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the cockroach is fine.
All right, fine.
All right.
I was like trying to think about it. It was like, you don't normally get asked about your eyeballs.
Yeah, right.
Good point.
All right. Well, we continue on and we get there.
You continue the drive.
Thanks, Dan.
And yeah, you get to you make a few stops to refill your gas, stretch, everything like that. It'll be an extra gold piece for the 2 days worth of travel for getting a hotel and the gas in total.
I
And then how
got
much
it.
for the truck rental? How many days did we have it? Like 4 or 5?
Month?
Yeah, so that's, I believe it's.
I think it
I
would have
think it
been
was
5.
I think it was a gold a day, if I remember right.
Yeah. I didn't do the month, I just did the daily.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that would be, you've had it for 5 days, so yeah, it would be 5 gold.
Okay. I will deduct all my stuff for that then.
What would Rosie pay?
It's a gold to rent for a day, so if you're just renting a car, that's what it would be, so.
So 2 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Rosie is heading back to her apartment. Rez, Gary, AAA are heading to the apartment as well, from what I understood. Or where are you heading directly?
I assume we were gonna go to Dan's apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go to Dan's.
Okay.
Door's locked, but that probably doesn't mean much.
Huh?
I said the door would be locked, but that does not mean
Oh,
much.
yeah, no.
No, yeah. We're good.
You just jiggle a handle enough and it just opens anyways.
The handle just like falls into the door.
The door just.
Someone get the duct
Okay.
tape.
I would say Rez, Gary, and AAA walking into Dan's apartment, you would see seems a bit messier than it usually looks. A bit worse for wear.
Was the door unlocked?
The door was still locked.
Was that a hole in the wall always there?
Is the window
Papers
open?
Always scuffed like this.
The window is not open. In fact, it's currently nailed down by 3 nails.
Was it always nailed down by 3 nails?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
But
I don't remember this, this glass being knocked over.
Who's shit in the corner?
It wasn't Dan.
Savages.
Bean.
It's just nuts and
no.
bolts. I mean, how? Like, what's the difference we're seeing here?
Basically, it looks like this place has been searched through. Is what you can tell.
Got it.
Well, that seems safe.
I would say in the meantime we will need to jump over to Dan and Bruno because they would have gotten to their place of arrival first. Yeah, you guys would reach the apartment. It's a small apartment, kind of similar in design to Rosie's. This actually looks like a fairly nice apartment complex. And as you walk in, like there's a few busboys willing to take your packages. And which address is yours?
Oh, we're not going in to talk to people. No,
Well, right as you walk in, there's people asking.
we're not walking in yet.
Okay.
If we're outside,
Okay. I would say then you see bus people helping people in and out with their luggage.
And they're heading towards you.
okay.
I thought you were going to his address.
They are.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
This is a ritzy apartment complex.
Okay.
Bruno, you can turn yourself invisible, right?
Yes. Just
Okay.
like the spell.
Do we know what? We know his apartment number, so we can figure out like the window that belongs
Yes.
to his.
That is correct.
So you take the head, you turn invisible. I'll cast Spider Climb on you, and you just
Sounds like a plan.
cool.
So you are just going to spider climb your way up into the room then?
Yeah.
So I would say the windows on this apartment are locked. You would know that. Just kind of trying to pry out. You climb up and get to the apartment window, and yeah, this is locked.
You said this is like Rosie's. So is there a balcony?
There is a balcony, yes.
I head to the balcony.
All right. You plop down onto the balcony, solid ground. There's a set of glass doors, and you can see on inside. Looks very nice, very clean. You see that there is a set of green glistening armor propped up on a armor stand across the room.
So are the balcony doors locked?
Balcony doors, give it a good rattle. It's locked.
I'll take care of that.
All right.
Okay. Plus 14. 18.
18.
Oh,
Give it
Yeah.
a few good rakes. Try and twist. These locks ain't going. It seems like some pretty high security.
Always just leave it on the balcony.
It's too late to use inspiration.
The pigeons will eat it.
I
Put
was
it in
like,
the box.
could I try again?
Not sure if you
Yeah,
do
not
those.
really.
you have a
Yeah,
telepathic link, right?
We can. I have to initiate it.
Would you have before we started this operation?
I mean,
Is that too much of a stretch?
well, I can also can I see him from the balcony?
You look down, you're about 80 feet up in the air. Pretty high up.
Can I see him from the balcony?
I'm probably in an alley a couple buildings down, so I'll pop my head out, just watching.
You're
And then there we go.
scanning the environment, and you see it.
Okay. There we go. You want me to leave it on the balcony?
Maybe good.
I think that might be the best plan.
Can you knock it in?
No, I can't.
Okay, come back.
Okay. Okay, so I just let it there, put one of the little cards in the mouth, and then head on out.
All right. So you plop the head down, put a card in its mouth, and you spider climb down. Package delivered.
Okay, and then go back home.
Damn, I must ask, is Rosie's apartment trashed again?
Rosie, as you enter into your apartment, nope, it's exactly as you left it.
Okay.
It's actually cleaner than you left it.
Damn.
That crap in the corner has been cleaned. No, it's clean. So I would say, yeah, you guys delivered the head, and where are you guys heading back to from there? Back to your place, Dan?
Presumably, yeah.
Okay, so it would take you about a day to get there. So that would be like 2 gold to cover the gas and the rental for that one.
Covered.
Okay. So you eventually all reconvene. Dan, yeah, you would notice your apartment has been looked through at the very least.
Yeah, we didn't clean it.
Nor did we messy it any further.
Dan will just look at the McDonald's bag and all the empty containers on the counters. Like, sorry. Okay. Well, that's a problem that they are looking for me, whoever they are.
Why would they look here?
Because this is my publicly listed address
Oh.
where I live.
It's
Well-
not a safe house.
Yeah.
This is just a shitty apartment that I live
Why
in.
would they look here? Well, this is my house.
Yeah, but they don't know that it's Dan. But now we do know that they know that it is Dan.
Whoever they are.
Dan's head.
Dan's head lives here.
No.
We don't even know who looked through his apartment.
Someone.
We don't know shit.
Is there a Dark Elf Mafia card left
Is there
here?
a calling card?
Is there...
We should probably detect magic, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna say because we actually have been here for a day or like half a day before Dan and Bruno arrived. We probably would have
That is
searched
true.
it pretty thoroughly for spiders
Yes.
first thing.
You would not find any spiders.
Okay.
Any spider.
There was a beetle, but we threw it out the window.
That was Drago!
Cockroach.
What iteration is this for Drago? Is it like 118?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of Dragos, so.
We'll definitely do a detect magic just to see if there's anything in the room.
Cast and detect magic.
Yeah.
You don't see anything magical outside of what you guys are already on. Is already on you.
Okay.
Incidentally, the door was locked still when we arrived. Not that stopped us from getting in.
Yeah.
Dan will look at the duct tape job, keeping it on its hinges. Sure, it makes sense. Well, if they're looking for us. They might be watching the building. We probably shouldn't stick around.
Do you have
Yeah.
any guesses for who they are at this point?
Off the top of my head, either Dark Elf Mafia or the cops.
It'd be interesting to see
Probably
who
Dark Elves.
is a part of the Dark Elves, because, you know, that's kind of my thing.
Your thing?
I'm point of the ears.
Are you a Dark
Right,
Elf?
Are you a dark elf?
I mean, I don't know what technically a Dark Elf means. It's not. It's not a
I thought
canon
dark
race.
elves are like the drow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
it's
that's-
Underdark.
You're not a drow, are you?
No, I'm not a drow, but I'm a Dark Elf.
But you're
Okay.
a dark elf without being dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is getting a little weird.
Sure you are, buddy.
Dark Elf isn't a race.
What is it?
It is a term for
It's a title
elf.
you earn.
No, it's another word for. Yeah, I guess it's another word for drow, technically.
It's
Which is
like
a
the
race.
equivalent. It's like the equivalent of calling someone an elf when they're like, well, I'm actually a wood elf, or I'm actually just a high elf, or something like that. It's like a generalized term for drow, if I'm understanding correctly what you're trying to get at.
I mean, they're synonyms, basically. It's the same thing.
It's just I don't have a lot of experience with dark elves, all right? Also, I see Wayland's like holding his head like he's like, what is he thinking? But I think my logic is okay.
I'm over here like, this is like the difference between black and African American, and it's weird to hear this pasty white shattered guy be like, yeah, I'm a dark elf.
That's where I'm at. You're like the whitest guy in the room.
Last time I knew, a dark elf is typically dark. And if you somehow throw around the term drow,
Yeah, that's not your word, buddy.
Come on, Gary, let's go.
You gotta put Gary through a course on racial sensitivity.
I didn't know plasmoids were dark elves, all right?
I'm pretty sure the plasmoid is working for the dark elves.
All right.
Just like how Cousin Vinny is an elf working for orcs, I'm pretty sure Cousin Vinny isn't an orc.
So, all fucking around aside, are we to put Gary in front of the Dark Elves and try and negotiate? Is that the pitch?
Wait, why
I
are
mean,
we
I have some
negotiating?
sort of ancestry to them.
It's not nothing.
What do you want to negotiate?
Go away.
You just what? Stop picking fights you don't want to have.
I think we already
Yeah,
chose that
man.
one.
Rosie's not there, but yeah, Dan. Stop it.
I didn't pick a fight with an entire thing. I picked like a fight with one fucking guy who was fucking with me.
It's true. This was something personal. It wasn't technically anything wrong with the syndicate.
Yeah.
The person that was working for the syndicate did something that wronged outside of their, where they should have reached.
Right. That's something
wasn't
we
the
could have.
syndicate's
That's a
fault.
position where we could have negotiated. Now they're going to be pissed no matter what.
We kind of killed him.
Currently, for
Kinda.
them, it's missing, not killed technically.
He is missing, that's true.
They didn't find a body.
Never will.
Well, we should probably at least find a place to stay.
I would say that perhaps a productive use of this day would be to go look into finding a place, like how much it would cost to just have a place set up for us, pulling connections and like getting our own as
Rosie's
secure
dad
as
might
we
be able to help
can
us out with
safe
that.
house.
What about
Rosie's
that?
dad might have connections.
You want to go there without her and ask?
Well, we could
I'm sure
pick her
she'd
up on the
appreciate
way.
that.
Yeah. I'm sure he would appreciate that. Like, oh, I see you've abandoned my daughter.
No, she's
Guards?
fine.
She's fine, we swear. Anyway, do you have a safe house?
Yes.
You know where to hide a body.
Do you know any vampires who are in the market for a body?
Let's not bring up the vampires around here. man.
Sure.
I mean, just generally, though, like, I feel like at least myself has enough connections for safe house stuff that I could possibly just talk to some old contacts and just see if there's any rumblings about an old building or something that we could purchase or take, residence in for the time.
Just finding a place where you can hole up for a while.
Well, I mean, I can pull my background feature, but I'm more just talking about like I guess from a flavor perspective, using my background feature to try and get a lead on a place we could actually stay more permanently.
Yeah, like basically find a way to use your background to talk to a renter, more or less.
Yeah, it's like get in contact with someone who has a safe house and then say like, hey, who do you go through? And then kind of work up the chain a little bit and spend a day doing that.
Does that require a roll at all for anything, for any of that?
I mean,
You
that's not
just do
even
it?
technically the feature. Again,
Sure.
This is just tangentially. I'm using the feature as kind of a bouncing board to.
Yeah. Does the feature just as is require any rolling,
Let me
or it
check.
just works?
I think it does. It's like a 50% chance or something. Yeah, there's a 50% chance you can find someone who can help me, basically.
Right. So I'd say roll a d6 and call evens or odds.
I'll roll a
First coin,
d20.
Peter.
I'll call evens.
All right.
I got a 12.
That's even.
All right. That's even. So, yep, I would say over the course of the day, you do eventually come up with one of your contacts who's able to locate you basically a set of renters and people who essentially lease out apartments or allow purchasing apartments entirely.
Sure. I think I'd probably be looking for something more. I mean, not like a business, but something that's a little bit more less like a house and more just like a space.
A laundromat.
Okay.
Workspace.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, like a this used to be an office, but the guy bounced his last check.
Yeah, or even just like this used to be like a large storage area, like just a spot that we can all collectively have.
Let me check my spots here.
Like a smaller warehouse.
Yeah, that's where my brain's at.
So your guy would say he's got a few different options. Either I got like a warehouse. I got this one place looked like it was a paper company. They were trying to make scrolls real cheap, but couldn't compete with Big Corp. They went under. And otherwise, I just got the standard safe houses or apartment complexes past that.
What's the rent on the first warehouse?
Warehouse she's a butte. That's going to cost you about 8 dimes a month.
Sold.
Wait, how much is it to buy it?
To buy it, that's going to be
800 dimes.
that's going to be 10,000 gold.
Jesus.
It's tempting.
Hey,
Man,
rent
that's-
is cheap here. Not buying.
Yeah, I feel like
I guess.
I could literally
renting's
buy it.
better.
Could you seriously?
I've barely spent any money.
Well, if you think about it this way,
I'm well under fucking. It's like 500.
You've been buying all sorts of scrolls, though.
Yeah.
But I feel like the odds this place gets destroyed is high.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was
think
gonna
we'll
say-
be
That's
renting.
a waste of 10G
Yeah.
or 10K.
Yeah.
Or
We already
And
fucked
this
up
is
one.
this
safe
is like
house.
a more underground like. This isn't like we're signing a lease and going to the bank and getting a
Yeah, it's
100
more
people
like I'm just
involved.
gonna hand you cash for
Yeah.
a while.
Under the
Yeah,
table.
we can do things under the table. That's no problem.
Perfect. I will pull out 8 dimes.
All right.
80 cents.
You have a little coin
for you,
bag.
sir. Actually, it's probably
Here's your-
$1.60 for the first and last month.
Ah, yes,
You-
of course.
Yeah. Post dated or whatever.
Security deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was
I'll bring out
security
another
deposit.
8 dimes for that.
Yep, security deposit's double or the same amount as rent.
Yeah.
You'll get it back if the rats hadn't
Yeah.
chewed it away.
Oh, we're not
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
get it back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's gone.
Wink.
That money's gone. So what is that? 8, 6. 2 gold, 4 dimes. I'll do it.
Did we just talk him up in price?
No, that was. I mean, yes.
Yeah,
We
but
role played paying more.
think you guys can
It's
afford
okay.
it.
It helps
It's
my
more,
immersion.
yeah. And it was more like, here, just
Suffering
fucking
under the
take my
boot of
money.
capitalism.
Yeah, and what am I gonna do with all of my 5,000 gold
You buy something.
You have 5,000 gold?
around there?
Consume to the capitalistic beast.
Souls?
Yeah, it's
Are
like,
Are you
hey, can I,
buying
use,
something yet?
can I borrow some?
I got so many scrolls with that gold.
Well, I guess I'll let the party know. We got a space.
Did you get some keys, or is there only one key?
How many keys did I get? It is a warehouse. There's probably a few.
Well, a few
Yeah.
entrances.
You got 4 keys.
4 keys. Who wants a key? I get 1.
I'll take. I'll grab one.
Yeah, I'll take
All right.
Good.
Dan's
Gary
got
got
one.
the bathroom
Gary.
key.
Bruno.
Hell yeah! No one. I'm locking it.
There's 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, he got
Well,
the key to
the
both.
key works for both of them.
Remind myself to change those locks.
Did you guys grab Rosie for this, or
Do it.
did you guys grab Rosie for this, or?
That's a good point. Would you guys have gone to Rosie's apartment?
She very
That's
much
fine.
does not want us to do that.
I would say the fact that we know that Dan's has been ransacked and now we have been in the ransacked apartment, that's probably not a good idea.
Okay. I was just.
I mean, at some point we'll have to get her.
We can
Yeah.
message her,
Yeah.
though.
No, we don't have to.
Can we like remotely message her?
Uh,
Are we still lacking in this functionality?
in my items, I have sending stone parentheses not set made using Rosie's artificer skills. I don't think they. I don't think that actually is still there though. No.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Well, someone find a way to talk to Rosie.
I'll just have the spider go up there and wait around.
Oh wait, that was
That's-
probably Dan.
At some point late at night, Rosie, you're just going to hear the tiniest little ding, 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 ding on your window as the spider is just kind of beating his tiny little legs against it.
If you don't go away, I'm gonna squish you. Don't come in this apartment. I don't like bugs. What does it do?
It just skips away. What'd she say? All right. Try again tomorrow.
I think Rosie would check the balcony, like go on the balcony, look for the bug.
You see Dan
She
there
has, like,
talking to a spider.
Shoe. Shoe. She has a shoe ready.
Dan's standing like 2 blocks down in an alleyway talking to something in his hand. Flashlight or light spell, whatever.
Rosie will sigh and go downstairs. Though you don't hear her sigh.
He would just see you go back inside.
A few blocks away.
Yeah.
The loudest sigh.
Like yelling.
Fucking people.
Oh, I would say while all this was happening, Rosie was working on the magic items.
Okay.
That needed to be repaired.
That's a good idea.
So.
I'm pretty sure Dan would have had to drive while it was him and Bruno, so he was not doing it.
Bruno can drive.
Bruno,
No.
Get him a booster seat.
So yeah, I assume Dan was doing the driving.
All right. Yeah, Rosie would go and see Dan.
Okay. You look rested.
Doing great.
Cool. Hey, it just off the street. So there was a break-in at my place.
It's fun, isn't it?
I mean, anyways, not going to quibble with the details. We avoided your place because of that. We do have a new place set up at this address. Memorize it. Blah 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 street at
Blah,
numbers,
blah, blah.
zip
Got it.
code.
Okay. Guess you want me there tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we should probably all meet to discuss our next move. So, you know,
Okay.
take roundabout roads, don't get followed, blah, blah, blah. Be careful.
I'll be there.
Dan will go invisible and they'll just hear metal footsteps. Doop, 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 doop. down the hall.
So secret. So safe.
So sneaky.
Bumps into him in the hallway.
Yeah, trash can falls over. Ow!
Well, then
I
Rosie
think
will-
that. Go ahead.
Rosie will just meet them tomorrow morning.
So I think that is probably a good note to end on since we're right after 12 here.
Sure.
You guys have defeated my goop man, and also since this is now never going to be relevant anymore, he was a sorcerer and he knew the subtlety meta magic.
Bastard.
That's how he could cast spells without doing any vocal or somatic components.
Sorcerer.
Your
My
goop
stupid
sorcerer
brother.
was no match for our 15,000 gold magical item.
At least we're getting our money's worth.
My stupid
I
brother
mean,
can't tell the
in-
difference.
In your guys' defense, it was just a one on six.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
that wasn't
Yeah.
going to go well for him anyway. So
Unless he had legendaries, which he did.
he did not. No, and he did not have counterspell either.
That surprised me, but I'm not complaining.
I came up with an address.
Okay.
You came
Sounds
up
good.
with an address? 89
Found a-
Shadowbrook
Shadowbrook.
Road, Ventura District. Sure. That's cool.
Also, the
Yeah.
spell that he was trying to use on Gary, that is cool, by the way. The
Oh,
spell
nice.
he was trying to use was Dominate Person.
I had a feeling.
That's a high level spell.
Fourth level,
Yes.
I believe.
Fifth,
Fifth. Ooh.
he was level 10.
Jesus.
Yeah, we cheesed the fuck out of him then.
Yeah.
I mean, like I described, he was a powerful magic caster. That's how he was buffing Dan's brother.
Yeah, all the spells Leon described were like third level, so I was like, okay, we could probably take him. Then he busts out the dominant person. Like, I don't know.
Chose the
Good thing I had
wrong
advantage
person.
on wisdom saves or on charms.
Yeah, because that could have gone interesting if he had complete control over you.
Well, it
But he
been
would have
instead
lost concentration.
Yeah,
Would he
Yeah.
when Tasha's hits?
incapacitated makes you
Lose
drop
concentration.
Well,
Unless dominate
probably
person
wouldn't
loses
matter then.
Poor feller.